And hindi niya mahuhuli. Si Alice doon. Alice will make it out in time. Pero eto, Kilowash going 1v1 with Rhea.
And Hades
with the health. At hindi na nila kakayaang lumuhod dito. Si Kilowash para makapag-regen. Tatapusin na talaga nila yan. Pero nakikita mo yung ginagawa ni Rafflesia. Ayaw niya palabasin ng mapa. Etong
Di makalabas
si
talaga.
DJ.
Oo. Grabe din no? I mean, alam nila yung ginagawa ng Aura-PH. At anong gagawin mo? O sige, alam mo nga yung ginagawa namin. Anong gagawin nyo ngayon? It's good na gumagana siya kanina. Ginagawa niyang bodyguard sila Rhea tsaka sila Hades. Pero hindi yun pwedeng laging ganun.
Okay.
Hindi pwedeng laging may bodyguard ka.
Sige, bigyan din natin ng bibigyan ko din ng malaking props dito si Imba DJ. Na kahit kanina ba siya tinatalunan, hindi mo rin matatanggi sa kanya na sobrang safe niya eh. Na nakakatakas din siya dun sa mga pwestong kailangan niyang pagtakasan.
Yep.
At hindi din siya natitake down. Isipin mo, kanina ka pa pinapalo ni Rafflesia, hinahabol ni Grid.
If it was another player, it would have been
isang
kanina
death
pa dapat.
Isang death ka lang, oh. Malaking bagay ito for Imba DJ. Iba talaga pumesa sa Tenorio.
Tama. Kung ibang player yan, that's probably a 0-10.
Oh, Hades, is this going to be the punish? Will they get the kill? That is the question. Yes, it is going to be the issue. And yet, that is going to be the answer. KLVJ will get that kill. Pero, 1-for-1 eh.
Yep. I really like what Signal Ultra is doing here naman. May palitan na nagaganap all around the map. And Ben Santi already locked in yung dominance ice. So, hindi na din basta-bastang makakalaban sila KLVJ and Rafflesia laban sa box na to.
Ito, iharangin nila to kasi nagpo-push si Lance sa baba. Hindi nila papauwiin just because they want Lance to get that turret. At top lane ang minamarksyahan dito ng Lord. Purple buff will be stolen by the side of Aura-PH and inaabangan dito ni Lance kung meron mang lalabas na ang bilis naman nun.
8K na ang gold lead. JP!
Ang ganda ng pwesto. Ang ganda ng pwesto ni Rhea. He gets the kill on Lance and with this, kaya nilang mag-defend.
Kaya nilang mag-defend. Wala si JP ng 35 seconds. Napakalaking bagay nun para sa Signal Ultra na maayos yung mga lane para sa kanila. So, kaya nilang i-flow yung top, most likely without the help of anyone else. They can clear this really quick.
And eto na, the Lord is down. That is still the first Lord. So, talagang magkakaroon pa ng breather.
Wow!
Etong Signal Ultra. Tsujin dito, they're doing their jobs. They're controlling Grid.
It's a solo kill para Tsujin over Grid. 20 seconds nang walang magulong mga The Hunting kay Imba DJ at nakakahinga na ng maluwag ang Signal Ultra for now.
Tsaka sobrang agro talaga kasi ng Aura-PH. Talagang pinipilit yung issue sa Signal Ultra. Ito na naman, may teamfight na naman sila. Pero ang kalmadong tao, pag nagalit, yun yung aabangan mo. Kasi hindi sila magpapatawad. At eto na, lumaban na rin yung mga agro dito, tumawag ng backup. Sabi nila, pre, inaabuso kami neto. Ito, naku po, yung backup, yun yung unang tumumba. Bensanity dito. Ay, nakikipagyakapan. Yun yung nangyayari. Grabe si Imba DJ dito para lang makuha yung extra stacks. Para makuha niya yung extra stacks, yung extra procs doon sa feathered airstrike. Pinlicker niya pa, pero
habang naka-feathered airstrike,
ang nagwagi, yung dalawang support, yung tank support combination ng Aura-PH.
Rafflesia at si Greed, galit na galit. Gustong malakit as usual, basta may makitang lumilipad na ibon, tatalunan agad.
Ayun dito nahuli si JP. Yung tinawag na backup, yun yung nabigyan.
And gana naman yung ginawa ni Imba DJ. Gana yun eh.
And ba't ko sinasabi na kung sino yung naging backup, yun yung nabigyan. Kasi napaka-importante nun. That is threat assessment. Nung nakikipagpaluan sila dito kay Grid at Rafflesia, ang kailangan mo intindihin doon, nung nakita nila si JP, nag-iba sila agad sila ng target. Sabi nila, pero wag yan.
Tama
ito tayo.
lang.
Nandito yung damage output eh. So tanggalin muna natin sila. Mas malaking chance yung chances of winning natin.
Very good assessment actually. And you read the situation na kahit na medyo madaming nangyayari sa screen mo, alam mo pa rin kung saan yung target mo. That's a good thing about Signal. No? They need to switch their attention to the Lancelot at ginawa nila yon within a few seconds, agad-agad.
And bakit nga ba nagkaroon na ng problema dito yung side ng Signal Ultra after nung magandang ginawa nila kay JP? It's because capable of dealing damage kasi ang Hilda at ang Natalia.
Tama.
So kahit sabihin mong dalawa lang sila dyan, they have dueling capabilities as tanks. And kaya sila aggro tanks aggro supports. Kasi talagang damage ang puhunan netong dalawang to.
Yep. And yun yung damage, yun naman ay damage na hindi basta-bastang maiinda ng Signal Ultra. So Signal, ano na ang kailangan nilang gawin para makabawi sa laban na ito? Is it going to be enough na napapatay nila si JP tuwing pumapasok siya? To be fair naman yung na kanina, naka-double kill naman si JP bago siya mamatay. Right now ang baba. Ang problema, they will be taking on KLVJ, sabi nila. Yun pala, Rocket, ito pala gagawin namin. Kukunin namin yung mga nag-iisa sa mapa.
Pero alam mo, Signal Ultra dito, this is promising for their side. They can take the Lord right now kasi nga, tatumba nila si KLVJ. So this is actually a 4v5 in the map. Si Rhea dito, mag-take na lang siya ng turret. Tingnan natin kung kakayanin siya i-take down netong dalawang members from ONIC. Damage output from JP. Wala siyang na-dodge doon.
Nabitaw yung Siba pero looks like yun pa rin. Yung damage pa rin ng Phantom Execution. Napakahapdi pa rin laban sa isang Cho. At yung 4v5 naging 4v4 ulit with the Lord being opened right now.
Sobrang ganda ng setup nila. Sobrang ganda ng setup nitong dalawang teams na ito. Nagkakalmutan na si Hades ang pumasok, siya ang umayaw. Ganon
kasakit.
Ganon ang Hilda.
That is the Hilda. The way of the Hilda na meron ka ng immortality. Ang dami mo ng shield na pumapaligid sa katawan mo. Hindi na alam ng kalaban ang gagawin nila
sa'yo. Ang bilis ng split decision, yung split second decision making nila dito. Na nung tinitake down si Rhea sa baba, ang sabi dito ng Signal Ultra, tara Lord. Lord agad.
Let's Lord.
Lord agad.
Oo.
Nung na-take down ONIC, dumiretso agad sila dun sa Lord.
Really
Kumbaga
quickly.
walang isip-isip, walang haka-haka na naglo-Lord sila. And that's actually a must for a pro player na talagang alam nila yung pacing or yung condition ng game at a certain setup. So, props to these two teams. They're really doing a great job
Bakbakan
just controlling each other.
Exactly.
Kinokontrol nila yung isa't isa dito, kaya wala nagpa-pop off. Kahit sabihin man natin na 8K gold lead ang ONIC dito.
Parang hindi naman ganun kalala.
Parang hindi naman kasi talagang sumusunod at sumasabay dito ang Signal Ultra.
That is what they need to do. And Signal Ultra, the ultimate defense, kaya ba nilang gawin? Tulad ng isang pagong Ben Sanity. Going to be in the middle of everything. And the Lord will be going down. Pero problema, inhibitor turret din nila ay babagsak.
Oh!
Here we go again with the Aura-PH collapse.
And Hilda dito ang nasipa. Raflicia's not really the best target. Pero si Greed, nililive niya yung dating
As
way
usual.
ng pagkapanalo niya.
Yep.
Nung Grand Finals, nung Season 5 with the Natalia scratching yung base.
Kalmot-kalmot lang sa base habang
Aura
busy ang lahat ng
PH.
kanyang mga kampi.
1-0. That was surprising for the side of Signal Ultra. Hindi natin na-expect na ganun ka-close yung match.
It was a very close match. I have to admit na sobrang lakas nung potential ng Signal na makabalik doon. Kung sakaling isang mali nagawa ng Aura-PH, kayang-kayang mabaliktad. They have the wave clear, they have the strong split push potential mula dito sa Roger na ito. Not to mention na yung tank nila is hindi din basta-bastang namamatay. Diba? Yung backshell na hindi din basta-bastang ma-take down. Early on, dominance ice agad yan. Ang bilis. So, nagulat ako with the point na hindi naman talaga nagkakamali masyado yung Aura-PH. I think bilang sa kamay yung mga pitas na nangyari laban sa Aura-PH, like yung kila KLVJ and gano'n. So, still, with props pa rin for Aura-PH, a well-deserved win.
Major props to both teams. But ipasa na natin to kay Shinbu for his analysis and his takeaways.
Thank you so much sa ating mga casters. That was a totally great game. Mula syempre sa Signal Ultra and of course Aura-PH. So silipin natin ang ating post-game mga kaibigan. By the 4-minute mark, I would dare say na lamang na yung Aura-PH doon against Signal Ultra. It was evident on the way they actually made those invades and actually with the nature of their composition relative sa composition ng Signal Ultra. They have the Natalia, they have the Hilda, which provides a very good vision in the early game and also for mid-game, no? And also, you have Lancelot, who's very mobile as well and can do so many things by the early game there. Whereas, ang Signal Ultra, although they have the Cho, although they have the Farsa, dahil dun sa presence ng Natalia, medyo bumaba yung presence ni Imba DJ dito and yan nga, bagay na bagay para sa ating support head-to-head. Ang composition dito ng Signal Ultra is, lagi pa ulit-ulit ko sinasabi, ang Alice late game composition, mga tol. Kaya by the 4-minute mark, lalamang talaga yung aura dito because of their intent on making sure that the Alice doesn't reach the late game that she wants, you know? And they can be very invasive. They have a lot of kits to actually deal with the Roger here. But, here's the thing, by the 4-minute mark, sabi ko, hindi pa rin. I think makakarating pa rin sa late game si Chujin. I actually have high hopes for Chujin here, no, pagtungo sa game natin. Kasi if you look at the post-game here, ladies and gentlemen, by the mid-game to the late game, napaka-impactful na ni Chujin dito. Look at the bars. He has mentioned, no? Chujin was allowed to actually farm onto the side lanes by the early to mid-game. Kaya naman ang taas ng kanyang turret damage. Those are early turret na na-involve si Chujin dito. Hinayaan nyo ng aura. Kasi ang Alice, maganda ang wave clear, pero turret damage hindi ganun kataas. Ironically, mataas yung turret damage dito ni Chujin kasi nga, yun nga, hinayaan siya ng aura. But look at the damage dealt there by Chujin. It is very high. Look at the damage received as well by Chujin. It is also high. That is an Alice na nakarating sa kanyang late game. But here's the thing, looking into our smart highlights of the game, there are moments there, no, na pwede na talaga ilaban ng Signal Ultra, pero may moments talagang nahuli doon si Chujin. And actually, I think RPH kind of outplayed in certain moments then yung Signal Ultra dito. What I love about this fight is that there are two teams na if you take on 2 versus 3 and not full-blown 5v5 fights, you're not sure, no, kung sinong mananalo dito. Like, it can go any direction, right? But here's the thing, RPH has a very nice count of AoE damage. And even though may Parsa yung kabila, yung Parsa na Feathered Airstrike, isa lang ang pwedeng tamaan dito. Whereas Kiel BJ on that Ruby is very much involved in terms of damage dealt din mula sa AoE ng kanyang Ruby. Hindi man ganun kataas, impacting pa rin and enough to zone out the likes of Imba DJ dito. Kaya naman ang daming moments talaga ni Imba DJ dito na hindi nabibigyan ng freedom basta-basta makapag-push. And yon, yung isang actually want to emphasize this team fight right here, no? This is the moment na sobrang lapit na natin sa dulo ng game. And that was because of Chujin getting caught out. Actually, pause ko lang yan, no? Hindi pala natin napopause. Pero actually, guys, by that moment, meron sanang opportunity dyan si Chujin na pwede nang pumasok sa laban doon sa may red side buff. Dito, nandito si Chujin, pauwi na dito yung aura, tapos pwede siya mag-engage dyan. Pero hindi niya ginawa. Rather, nagsimula yung laban nila doon sa may Lord part, no? Doon siya nag-engage. That only involves 3 members ng aura kasi namatay at nahuli si JP and wala rin naman si Greed. But, yeah, yung mga ganong konting mishaps and also by the top, doon sa may top lane side then under the inhibitor turret, nahuli din ulit si Chujin. Although it wasn't a fatal blow, nakauwi si Chujin dito. That was already the Luminous Lord knocking doon sa inhibitor turret ng Signal Ultra. And alam ng aura eh. So, what's the takeaway here for Aura? It is actually a lesson of when to fight, no? Sobrang importante mga tol, especially if you are playing any MOBAs, no? Timing, kung kailangan talaga makikipaglaban o hindi. At bahala na, parang hindi naman bahala na, pero you have some sort of calculated reward kahit ano pang maging resulta ng laban na yon. And Aura decides to fight when it matters. They have a lot of kits. They actually have some people on the backline tulad ni Natalia, tulad nung kay Grid nga. And yeah, they were able to cash in it properly. And JP, you know, just fly properly dito sa Lancelot. But that play on KLBJ, yung Ruby ni KLBJ sa larong yun, I think that is a commendable performance in itself then, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, congratulations syempre sa Aura for that one. Ang maganda dito, yung laban na yun guys, I don't think it is one-sided. Para sa akin, mistakes ng mga pro players are totally, alam mo yan, parang mendable, pwedeng makabawi. Honest mistake naman yun eh, alam naman nila yun eh. Ang hindi forgivable is yung tendencies, no? Tendencies, mga habits na hindi inaayos o hindi binabago. And that would, you know, that would really punish teams if they don't change. Pero yung mga ganong mistakes, totally tolerable. That's why I think this is still a close series even if we go to game 2. We have our ongoing giveaways, yung mga raffle codes natin dyan, mga tol. And also, our mythical raffle draw. Fill upan nyo na yan, bit.ly/MRD-W6. Again, if you filled up 5 of that form para dito sa ating buong regular season, makakasali pa kayo doon sa ating ultimate mythical raffle draw kung saan hindi lang basta skins o skins ang prizes, mas matindi pa. So, yes, mga tol, I think we have usapang MPL. Do we have usapang MPL, Eagle One? Alright, we don't have usapang MPL for now, no? So, sige, ibabalik na natin ito sa ating mga casters. Ready na ang ating mga casters? So, let's go.
May Eagle 1 pala tayo.
Maraming salamat, Eagle 2.
Eagle 2.
Tinawag mo si Eagle 1. Tatandaan mo, tinatawag lang natin yan pag may digmaan.
Oo. Ano naman yan, Shin? Welcome back.
And Aura PH, Signal Ultra, this is looking very promising on our end.
This is. I feel like ito yung games na hinahanap natin na parang medyo hindi nagpapaka chill lang yung aura. Parang talagang tutok sila di ba?
Gusto ko yung gusto ko yung factor na hindi nag-give in yung Signal Ultra sa lahat ng gustong gawin ng aura. Na parang, sige, Raplesia, pasok ka dito. Biglang makikita mo, matatadyakan na lang si Raplesia dun sa torre.
That's actually super smart, di ba? Ang talino ng ganun. Like, there's always a counterplay. Hindi yung tipong, okay, hindi porket leading kayo, kaya yung gawin lahat ng gusto yung gawin dito.
At saka kasi, anong nangyayari doon, in terms of mindset, syempre, kung ikaw si Raplesia, kung nasipa ka na ng 2 beses dun papasok ng tower, or mas malalim pa, you'll find yung place or yung jungle na kung nasaan nakalane si Cho, na parang danger zone eh. So, ang gagawin nila syempre ng Raplesia, kunyari, walang nangyari. Papasok lang siya dun uli. But every single time na nangyayari yon, there is going to be an advantage going to the side of or Signal Ultra, tapos yung Aura PH. Syempre, mag-iisip sila ng bagong way to adjust. And that is where Aura PH is good at. Adjusting in the game. Ang bilis nilang magpalit ng tempo.
Yeah, and sabi din ni Shenbu, they know when to fight. They know when to take fights. Alam din nila na medyo, teka, yung strat natin kanina parang hindi sobrang gana. Let's change it up a little bit. And hindi na masyadong pupasok si Raplesia after that nung nakita niya, oy, teka, wala sa mapa si Cho. Diba? So, good adjustments and again, game sense coming from our back-to-back champions.
Aura PH, Kufra naman ang sinetap nila dito. It's ayaw talaga nila i-setup yung Kufra para sa side ng Signal eh. Parang banda lang natin, wag natin ibigay. Kahit sabihin natin yung sa Aura PH, nasa kanila si Championship Kufra. Tanggalin na lang. Tapos sa ginawa ng Signal naman dito, tinanggal na lang yung Hilda din.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
Kasi nakimedyohan man nila.
Ang hirap nung kanina.
Nakimedyohan man nila, pero ang hirap pa rin eh.
It was difficult for Signal Ultra to play in that regard kasi alam ni Raplesia yung win condition eh. Talagang pigilan mo lang si Imba DJ, okay na eh. Nawawalan ng wave control, nawawalan ng wave management yung Signal when they keep forcing Imba DJ to go back to base kasi low HP siya. Hindi nga nila kailangan patayin si Imba DJ, they just need to put him low para lang mag-back. Pero again, so smart for Signal Ultra, nagdagawan pa rin nila ng paraan yung pressure kay Imba DJ. Big props to Signal. Now we are on a new we're on a new draft and we are still seeing some pretty familiar bands. Kamusta naman yung how did you feel about the Hades Roger? Did it look like it was the right fit para sa Signal?
Ako kasi, pagka nakakita ako ng Roger, na-expect ko lagi, papasok yung gumagamit ng yung Roger composition. Sila yung pumapasok, hindi sila yung pinapasok. Kasi in terms of poking, in terms of punishing, hindi ganun ka-ayos si Roger. Kasi you'd expect Roger to throw out a few physical attacks tapos mag-wolf form siya. And yung wolf form niya, dun talaga yung Lycan form, dun talaga nangyayari lahat ng damage output for Roger. So, kailangan talaga yung Signal yung pumapasok nun eh. Yung Signal yung sumasaklaw nung nung mapa.
Nagkataon lang na instead, no?
So, ibig sabihin, if you are using a Hilda strat, then it makes more sense to go for a Roger. Kasi pasok ka lang ngayon ng pasok eh. You want to fight as much as possible, di ba?
Of course. Fight as much as possible.
Alam mo yan, bro? Ano ka ba, bro?
You know it, bro. Although, wala sa atin nag-Roger din masyado, no? Pag tayo naglalaro. Hanap nga tayo ng mga malulupit na,
Hindi kaya gamitin naman din yan.
Marksman naman yung technically eh. Kaya
Hindi,
naman
ang gusto kasi ni Manjin, yung mga nasa likod lang. Pagka medyo paharap na kasi, pagka paharap na kasi si Manjin, kinakabahan, biglang nasasay ko yung sarili.
Teka, hindi tayo napansin na naman ha. Iba to. Ibang kwento yan. Imba DJ! On the Selena, ibang
kung paano nga ba mapipigilan ang isang Selena lineup in theory. Para mapigilan sila,
Populin ko pa.
that's a thing.
Oo.
Pero meron pang isa eh.
Ano ba?
Huwag kayo mag-poke comp. Kasi kayo, naipagsundutan kayo sa kalaban, pinapababa yung buhay
sige.
mo. Kapag ka napana isa sa inyo, automatic go time yung kabila eh.
It's a game.
So, ang
It's a game
gagawin nyo,
time.
paano nga ba lalabanan yung si Lina? Sugurin mo agad. Kasi kung hindi naman mahaba yung pana, hindi naman matagal yun eh.
Yep, it's like a mini
Oo.
0.5 seconds lang and then you can go again.
Oo.
Pero, again, you will have the trap there. Medyo masakit yung trap.
Oo.
Pero, kaya mo siyang malapitan. That's the point.
Here we go
Here we go again! Oh my glove! Oh my glove! The masters of the grid, of the Digi lineup. The masters. Have our back.
Nabitawan si Diggy.
Oh my glove.
Eto, this is one way to deal with Selena.
Aba.
Bigyan mo ng vision lagi.
Vision palalaban gusto
Vision,
mo.
oh, sige, vision. Ito,
Tara, vision tayo.
ito, vision. Meron pang mission. Sama
Tama.
mo na yung core values. Kasama na sa kanya yun, si Diggy.
Oh my God, this is going to be interesting at the minimum, at the bare minimum, ha?
Pero ito lang sabihin ko. Yung Diggy nila dito, maaga. So pwede ang Signal Ultra dito makahanap ng sagot. Pwede silang humanap ng sagot dito sa 2 remaining picks and 2 remaining bans na meron sila. One thing na napapansin ko na usually ginagawa kapag may Diggy sa kabila is nag-go 1-2-2 na lang yung mga teams.
1,
Para
2, 2.
kasi 'di ba, ang nangyayari doon, ang idea kasi nung Diggy, syempre, 'di ba, kinaanoy mo yung nagpa-farm. So yung panel, yung hyper carry, yung dapat ko makuha lahat ng farm, hindi makabaril kasi kahit yung Diggy binobomba din siya. So ibig sabihin, anong gagawin niya? Uuwi. Pero kung yung mid lane ang guguluhin ng Diggy, ang ibig sabihin noon, Rockhart, yung ibang lane, libre.
That's true. That's
So, ibig
true.
sabihin, kung may carrying potential ka pa rin dun sa gilid, baka maging okay.
So yun na lang talaga ang sagot.
Pwede,
Tingin mo yun ang
it's
sagot.
one way to put it, pero it will be really hard to execute.
It's gonna be so hard
It's
to
going to
execute,
be
my
hard to
friend.
execute.
Kasi ang ganda mag-theory craft ng ganun, kaso
Oo, pre.
Aura PH
Pre,
kalaban mo to
nakita ko na siya in action.
Yes.
May mga nakagawa na sa kanya. Gumagana siya most of the time. Pero kasi, kapag hindi mo na set up yung draft mo ng maayos for that certain situation, for a Diggy strat na mag-1-2-2 ka, mahirap i-pull off.
This is it, pansit. Oh, yeah, it's going to be very curious whether or not ma-realize ng signal yun. I wonder if they'll hear that. Pero syempre, because of the delay, mamaya pa nila maririnig yun. Pero I'm sure they know. I'm sure they know of this.
Pero, tingin ko hindi sila eh. Hindi sila mag-1-2-3.
Tingin ko din eh.
Feeling ko 1-3-1 na to eh. 1-3-1. Pero kasi, ito pa yung isang paraan para naman pigilan yung Diggy strat. Strengthen mo yung side lanes. Kung yung side lanes mo magiging okay, hindi basta-basta makakabuli yung Diggy. Kasi kung ibig sabihin nun, kung yung Diggy, mabigyan niya ng problema yung hyper carry nung kabila dahil lang kinaanoy niya, kung yung gilid may free farm at hindi sila mabubuli out of lane at mapapanalo pa nila yung lane nila at best. So ibig sabihin, baka sila muna yung humawak muna ng game para makahabol si hyper carry.
Malayo-layong. And speaking of offlane na sinasabi mong solid, na nga, nagtanggal na sila ng isa pang extrang solid na hyper carry, which is the Alice. So that's gone, and now Signal Ultra will need to draft a very strong offlane. They go for Jawhead instead. Now, why is that? Why do you think they went for the Jawhead lineup instead?
It's a way to answer itong mga sustain heroes na to. Kasi habang nag-sustain sila, kung papataasin mo yung damage mo, then that only means na you are getting more value and each attack is higher than the previous. So, ibig sabihin, baka may time dito na lumamang na lang si Jawhead talaga ng sobra against sa Khalid. Baka hindi na din kayanin yung mismo region ng Khalid.
Yep. That's right. Now, we'll see if that's gonna be the case, ha. Pero ang intense ng usapan nila ngayon sa Signal, eh. Parang sa Signal bootcamp, kitang-kita sa camera, eh. Pero, I know they know about the conditions of this lineup, obviously. Now, it's going to be a question of, will they go for a solid tank or will they just go beat fire with fire? Kasi, no tank game na yata to, eh. Ang labas dito, magiging no tank game, eh. Makunat lang yung mga offlaners, pero the tanks are gonna be here. And these are, the reason why is they want to get heroes that can deal with the Diggy pag sumobra yung kulit. And if, I don't know what's going to be the last pick of Signal Ultra here. I would like a high loss probably, pero it's not gonna happen for sure.
Kag ang kinuha ng aura. And but automatic. automatic na to. Angela.
Pakulitan tayo ng support, guys. Pakulitan gusto nyo eh. Let's do it.
Okay, so ganito ang mangyayari. Ano itong mangyayari? Healing galing. Love waves.
Pag may kinukulit, protektahan natin yung kinukulit. Yun na yun.
Kapag may kinukulit, kulitin din natin
Ilabas
sila.
ang tilok.
Ilabas ang tilok. Tama ka dyan.
Pero okay naman eh. Okay, I think this is a good lineup. This lineup is going to be able to handle the aggression of the Digi lineup for sure. And Yi San-shin is a great hero na pag nawala yung focus ng kalaban mo sa Yi San-shin, ito yung magandang hero to na mag-scale. And he will always keep providing vision, aside from vision pa na binibigay ng Digi. The Yi San-shin is going to give a lot of vision as well. So, may complete setup na magaganap dito para sa Aura PH. Sa Signal naman, it's gonna be more of keeping everyone alive. Makunat yung offlaners mo on the Jawhead and the Fams. Pero most likely na, pati si Angela magiging offlaner na eh. Diba? Most likely. So, oh my God, this is gonna be one for the books.
Creativity, I love it.
My God.
I love
Let's
it.
see. We're gonna go into the game, mga kaibigan. Game 2, laban ng Aura PH versus Signal Ultra. Roughly siya back on the Digi making
Ito
headlines.
na naman sila. Infamy. Roughly siya. Inalay ang unang dugo. And makikipagkulitan siya agad. Siyempre, ito yung Digi Starter Pack. Meron kang Digi, meron kang Magic Worship, at meron kang Retribution.
At nandito din, syempre naman, si Lucky Luwash to make the follow-up. Hindi lang about, it's not all about Rafflesia. It's gonna be about the follow-up after you go for the Digi.
Okay.
He got a kill!
So eto na,
He got a kill!
aggression na, at tag-reset. Ang dapat, oy, kill. Uy, naku.
Nagka-kill si ano?
Intercepted.
Nagka-kill si Rafflesia. That's gonna put him back a bit. So sayang yung first two deaths niya because of that.
Well, aksidente yung nangyari.
It was an accident. Oo.
Pero eto na, balik na naman sila dito. So, ang para kay Rafflesia lang naman dito is, ang kailangan niya lang isipin is kanino niya ibibigay yung kill.
Tama.
Diba? Kahit sabihin mo na may gold siya uli, kung paghahati-hatian naman nila lahat. Ayan, tingnan mo si Imba DJ dito, di siya pinapansin. Nagagawin ni Imba DJ dito, gusto kasi nila si Hades muna yung makakuha. Pero kasi, ang papansin mo naman dito, ang ganda kasi ng mobility ni Ling. So baka may mga times na hindi siya mahabol ni Hades. Hindi mahabol si Hades ng isang Digi. So ito yung pinakapagod na Digi strat sa lahat.
For sure, mas mahirap gawin to at this point. Plus, not to mention, yung ibang miyembro din ng Signal Ultra ay nakakakuha na ng kill sa ibang parte ng mapa.
Tingnan mo yung itlog, men. Hindi niya kayang lumaban.
Yep.
Ang ginagawa dito ni Ling, parkour.
Tititigan na lang sila.
Pinaparkour siya ni Ling.
Oo. Kung may XP na lang, kumbaga, yung si Hades, and he's getting hunted down by
Ginagawa ni
Rafflesia.
Rafflesia.
Oh my God.
Pre.
Okay.
Pre. Open-minded ka ba? Pre, tinatanong lang naman kita eh.
Yup. Ang maganda naman dito si Hades, of course, naka-killing spree emblem. So every time he gets a kill, he will replenish his HP by a little bit. So hindi niya kailangan mag-full back. Pero si Rafflesia sabi niya, anong walang back-back? Dito tayo.
Ikaw tol, open-minded ka din ba?
Oo nga eh, open-minded. Naghahanap ng open-minded si Rafflesia.
Open-minded ka ba?
Oy, nahihirapan na yung Aura PH dito. Signal Ultra lumalamang na ng halos 2,000 sa gold.
Kilowash going in. Ito na lang talaga yung trip gawin ni Kilowash. Every time na pwede niyang kulitin si Hades
Naku po.
to getting that, look at this. Nag-times journey pa si Rafflesia para sure na hindi matatapon dito si Kilowash. But still, the main reason is nagamit na din ni Kilowash yung kanyang flicker.
That's right. Shutdown though, out of nowhere, nakuha ng kill si si JP, and that's the power of the Mountain Shocker.
And nahuli na naman siya dito. So right now, si Cravlisha is at 6 deaths. Sabi sabihin, may gold pa rin siyang binibigay ngayon. And medyo nagkaroon sila ng setback dahil nga dun sa kill na nakuha ni Diggy. Pero napapagana pa rin naman ng Aura PH. Although hindi lang ganun kaganda compared dun sa other iterations sila neto kasi nga mas mataas ang gold ngayon ng Signal Ultra sa kanila. Pero hindi naman din ganun hindi din naman ganun kalayo.
Hindi ganun kasama, actually. Sa totoo lang. And he's also keeping Hades busy. Instead of nakaka-rotate si Hades sa ibang parte ng mapa, napapapwes siyang magstay sa wall at mag-back.
May tinamaan ng pana dun sa may likod si JP dito, kinagat ng malaking trap and that is going to be the kill. On JP, tinamaan uli ng pana si Kill BJ and Balmond dito, Baldibolin.
Uy, teka, masyado madaming tinatangke yun
Imba. Wait lang,
teka,
easy ka lang BJ,
sumusobra.
Easy ka lang.
Chillax.
Easy ka lang.
And I think that's fine for this lineup right now. The power of the Selena halatang-halata mula kay Imba DJ. Gamit na gamit ang kanyang Selena and they are making things happen on the map.
Si Link, kung papansinin mo yung items niya, hindi din ganun kaganda.
Oo nga, no?
Kung papansinin mo pala yung gold niya, hindi ganda.
2.6k halos.
2.6k.
Halos quits lang.
Halos quits lang sila. Ang lumalamang dito si Chujin Baldibolin eh.
Si Chujin talaga.
Kaso kasi, ano yan, Avaris.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They're making a lot of gold from the place na ginagawa ni Rafisha as well.
Oh, si JP na naman dito yung nahuli. Bensanity. Unstoppable Force. Walang connection ng araw. Kung may connection ng araw, pwede sana eh. Ito na naman si Kiluwash.
Kiluwash talaga hinahabol lang talaga niya si Hades. Yun ang mission, yun ang vision talaga naman. And Hades will be going down kahit na may Angela Shield. Chujin at the back foot, trying to take down Kiluwash.
Nakapatay si Raplisha.
What's happening to Raplisha? Oh my glove.
May bibigay na naman na gold to.
May bibigay siya na gold.
And that is going to be gold for the side of Signal Ultra once again.
This is not good for Aura, huh? Yung alam mo yung dapat lamang nila from the Diggy pick, it's disappearing because of the gold that's being given dahil dun sa mga reset.
And look at this, Gillette instant replay, #shave the day. Nakita mo kung paano sila naglaro doon ng kart racing game. Nag-boost sila pareho with the Cyclone Eye and that is going to be the certain downfall of the Diggy strat for the side of Aura. Tingin mo ba?
It seems to be giving away a lot of kills para dito sa Diggy na ito. And they are making it work. I like it. I like what they're doing and if Signal keeps this up, the gold is going to be better. Pero si Hades, huwag niyo kakalimutan, iba pa rin yung gold na nakuha niya. Hindi totoo yung 7-3 niya right now.
Pero ito, nadaganan. And the Heart Guard is here. And nagkatamaan na
Gantihan lang naman.
Gantihan lang. An off-lane for an off-lane.
Nako, si JP nadali!
Si JP dito, tinamaan ka na ng pana, hinagis ka pa.
Beautiful play mula sa Signal against JP.
Hinagis, pwede ka na magsaing nga nun eh. Pwede ka magsaing, pwede ka magluto.
Tingin ko din eh.
May oras ka pa.
may sukli ka pa actually.
May oras ka pa pag ganun.
Kamusta naman yung ibang players dito ng Signal ng Aura PH? How are they doing? How are they coping with the onslaught that's happening from Signal Ultra right now on the bottom lane? Todo push dun sa baba. And Sujin as well, pinapahirapan ng sobra itong Khalid na to. Underneath with the Tempest of Blades, that's gonna be it. Killing spree mula kay Hades and JP following up. Oy, may kumakat.
Uy, sayang yun. Chujin doon, kamuntikan mahuli. That could have been the stun, the yin yang overturn, and the mountain shocker. Pero Bensanity dito. Oy!
Whoa! The Heart Guard!
Napalaban si kuya mo, JP! Ay, outplay ata!
It seems to be.
Na-outplay nga si JP doon nung oras na nag-flicker in siya. Nag-Heart Guard.
Grabe, what an intense game. And yung Heart Guard ni Sujin, gamit na gamit sa laban na to. Tuwing na-cooldown, ginagamit din siya.
Hindi lang pala kaya dumakdak ni Chujin Baldibolin. Kaya din dumipensa.
Oo. Kaya
Kaya dumipensa. Nawala din yung turtle agad. Ang gandang laban nito.
Yup.
Ang ganda nga.
Quits na quits pa rin. Rafflesia is going to be in the middle of everything, sacrificing another kill. KLVJ with the dunk onto Imba. DJ with the kill spree, pero syempre naman may mga follow-up. Here's JP. The
Hinabol!
backup is real.
Hinabol!
Hardcore naman. At the same time, gustong lumaban.
Hinabol yung basketball player, hindi nagbayad ng ice tubig. JP dito yung naging collateral. Binato pa loob. Pero one dash
Si
won't be
Grid.
able to save him. Grid dito with a Yin Yang overturn on 3. Kakayanin ba? Papasok ba uli si KLVJ?
Sinong sasab? May
Ay,
sasab
wala
pa?
na tama, wala na tama, wala na. Ito na,
Yeah.
Substitution!
Sub in!
Wala.
Wala.
Binato,
Malayo.
palabas. Wala.
Okay. Non-stop aggression, and because of that, so far, gulat ako, 3K pa lang. Wala pa 3K ang lamang. So, somehow nakakabawi ang aura. Pero Signal Ultra talagang galit na galit. They are 32-10, and that's obviously because of Rafflesia. Pero, nagmumuang solid pa rin ang lamang nila.
And I think this is the power of the Selena. Selena talaga. Ang daming
I feel like
kills. Ang daming kills na nabigay. Ang daming kills na nakuha.
Dahil
kay
sa Selena.
Dahil sa Selena.
Yeah, sobrang laking bagay, and even if you're a championship caliber team like Aura PH, Selena is still a very difficult hero to deal with.
Kaya talagang hindi biro ang hindi talaga biro ang Signal Kapag kalaban mo, kailangan talaga i-take mo sila ng seryoso
Yep, hindi pwedeng basta-bastang eksperimento, hindi pwedeng
Oo.
mga... I feel like this is just what happens when you fight Signal, no? Gumagawa sila ng paraan, they find themselves in a very weird situation, and then may mga counterplay sila. This Angela pick over the Diggy, sobrang talino mula sa Signal, no?
Tatandaan mo, ito yung tinatawag na Angeling combination. JP don't getting caught out in the
JP.
worst spots possible. I don't know what's happening to JP. Pero, nalalagay lagi siya sa alanganin.
Yep. And the rest of the team is having a hard time defending now dahil sa kulang sila ng miyembro.
Dala naman yung mga basketball player. Nasa taas na naman. Rafflesia dito, as usual, nangungulit pa rin siya. 19 kills. God-forsaken KDA stat.
Yep, wala na. I don't think that's
Oo,
gonna
yan na yan.
Hindi na dapat pag-usapan yung KDA sa mga susunod na laban ng Aura PH. Pero for now, they are going for the Lord Signal Ultra. Looks like they're happy to go. And Lord is very, very low. May kakontra pa kaya kay Luwash going for the steal. It's not gonna happen. Lord going over to Signal Ultra. At mukhang yung laban na to magiging mapupunta din sa kanila.
KD's dito, tinamaan ng magaling. Tinamaan siya ng hindi ng magaling. Pero, look at that. Well, tinamaan nga siya na magaling.
Tinamaan nga naman.
Hindi ko alam kung ba't ko niretract.
So sa ngayon, it's
tinamaan
going
siya
to
ng flame
be...
shot, yun na lang.
Yes. But it's not enough. Obviously, it's going to be Signal Ultra. Nakuha naman sila ngayon ng Lord. How will they close this out? Kaya ba nila?
Ay,
And ano ang gagawin ng Aura PH? They're in a bad situation.
No? Ang wild Ang wild ng main idea dito ng ng Aura PH Kumbaga, gusto nila mag-Diggy strat, but with a few pickups here and there, Diggy didn't really make it. Didn't really, pay off for their side.
Yep, yun na nga yun. Di gumana yung Diggy. And ano pa nga ba sabihin natin? Hedy's looking for a fight. Kinuwash na mabuwer sa mag-raging sandstorm palayo. And I think this is gonna be the slow death, the slow push. Lord, nasa baba naman ngayon.
At eto na ang pagtumba. Sila ba ang unang tatalo dito sa Diggy strat na ginagawa ng Aura PH? Yung Lord nagmamark siya dito. The slow and steady push. Bensanity dito, nabato yung Siege Minion. And kalahating buhay lang. They have the capability to defend this. Tinamaan si Rafflesia dito, pero hindi yan yung gusto nyong target. Kasi lagi lang naman yan magbabato ng... Lagi lang naman magbabato ng times journey yan kung kakailanganin.
Yep. And nakadepensa naman ng Aura PH. Sabi nila, 9,000 gold lead halos. Tingin ko naman kaya pa. At ilalaban pa naman.
Kulang ulti si Kilowash.
Yep, pantakas talaga yung ultimate ni Kilowash ngayon no?
Tinamaan na naman si JP dito. And kailangan niya mag-regen. Ito talaga yung sinasabi natin, you do not give out Selena that easily kasi sobrang daming magaling na Selena player dito. Sobrang daming magaling na Selena player ngayon sa PH.
Yep, dami nga. And I think hindi na siya yung bastang pick na alam mo yun, yung anyone just picks it up. There are certain people who really play it well talaga.
Grabe yung game na to. Grabe yung series na to.
Grabe, this is a really good series. And now 10,000, almost 9,000 gold lead. Kaya pa kayang pumush ng Signal Ultra dito. Clearing the waves is very easy for them. At si Kiluwash ang madadali. Raging Sandstorm plus The quicksand guard going to be enough to keep him alive.
But,
Pero,
you know what? We've seen Aura PH in worse spots. I feel na kaya pa rin ng Aura PH balik ta rin to, kaya nag-iingat din ng signal.
yep, kaya hindi din sila makapag-all-in basta-bastang lakad matatag into the base. Dahil, syempre naman, at kilala nila ang kalaban nila. Kilala nila ang Aura PH, for sure. Na may mga championship ang Aura PH na napanalo ng baliktadan. Ng ultimate comeback is real, di ba? So, alam nila yon and aware sila. That's why they will not go for anything fishy. They will try to take this.
Yeah.
Tulad nga ng last series, slow instead.
Love Waves, Heart Guard.
Oh,
Tama,
the 5-man
nag-steal pa sila,
five-man stealth.
Oo.
Shadow Mask, bihirang-bihira ng gamitin ngayon sa ating liga, pero gamit na gamit ngayon ang Signal Ultra.
And nakikita mo na talaga yung items nila is yung items dito ng side ng Signal Ultra, literal lahat sila nakuha na nila yung gusto nila.
Yep, they got
While
everything.
Yison Shin dito, medyo naghahabol talaga si JP. Papansin mo yung items si JP dito, nag-Wind of Nature siya agad. And that is actually quite defensive
Yeah.
for Yison Shin.
Alam naman kasi ni JP na once he goes down, ang hirap na maghanap ng bawas. Ang hirap na maghanap ng super carry potential. Now, muntikan si Imba DJ, he has the Winter Truncheon for safety. That just makes Imba DJ so much more confident dito sa laban na to. And now, ano ba ang plano for Aura PH? Ito na naman, dito na naman tayo sa tulad nung sa minute to meet. Men, pag namatay isa sa inyo, matatalo tayo. Kaya kailangan maging kalmado. Except for Raflisha, okay lang kahit mamatayan.
Kaso
Okay.
hindi, si Raflisha ngayon, sa totoo lang, Kakart, parang hindi na din niya deserve, hindi niya din afford mamatay.
Tingnan natin yun. That's gonna be the case.
Oo, pagka parang B5 ang setup, Kilowash dito, lumuhod sa may harapan, and that is going to be
Shutdown kay Rhea.
2v1 sa may taas. Rhea goes down. Imba DJ dito.
Imba DJ!
Will this cost them though? That is the question.
Ang laking...
Rockhart,
Yes.
hindi sila kompleto.
Hindi nga. It's a
yung
3v5.
Signal Ultra doon.
3v4.
JP nahuli. Huli and neto. Cost nito for the side of Aura PH.
Mistake after mistake for both of our teams. Single target pickups. That is that just makes this game so much more interesting. KLVJ having a hard time playing with Sujin right now.
Ganda ng performance ni Chujin dito, to be honest. Chujin 8-1-10. Sobrang godly ng performance niya into this Angela side lane na kahit si Hades na enable niya din at naging 12-4-11 na rin dito si Hades. Sabihin na lang natin na sige, may Digi strategy na nangyari. There are 20 kills on the Digi. Pero kung papansinin mo, hindi siya napunta sa isang tao lang eh.
That's true.
It's scattered all over the team.
And hopefully we'll get a look at our itemization and makita natin gano'ng kalaki ang difference nila. Pero Hades ngayon lumalaban sa gitna ng jungle. Aura PH nagwawala with a hard guard. Angela, sobrang confident niya. Lord goes over to...
Oy!
What?
Down!
What?
Nagaw pa ni Kilowash! Nagaw ni
Ano
Kilowash! Oh my goodness!
Seriously?
Aura
Nabawi
PH!
pa ngayon.
Oh my god!
Nakakainis
G!
yun. Kung ako signal doon, alam na eh. Kuha na eh. But paano kayo naagawan ng isa? Laban sabi ni siguro, I don't know man. That's...
At
okay,
tanong,
it's only buying time.
Magmamatter ba? Kasi naniniwala ako yung minions dito, lumaki.
Lumaki
Naging
ang
masustansya ang minions.
Tama, tama.
Kumbaga, nagkaroon ng vitamins. Ang problema,
Insanity on to
may
JP
pakiba
again.
yung signal.
Kaya lang dumepensa.
KLBJ, tinamaan siya dito ng pana. Aalis siya, tanky rin naman siya kahit pa paano. Raflisha going in. At
JP.
doon siya nag-respawn sa harapan ng 5. Bensanity dito will go down to the Mountain Shocker. Immortality will be popped. Greed on the other hand, mabibigyan siya ng extra armor just in time. Para
Kinuha
isalba
is
si
back.
Greed. Para isalba
That
si
was a
Greed.
very nice time journey. Very nice time journey indeed.
Oh my goodness. Lahat dito, they're doing everything para mabuhay at para manalo. So let's see. It goes down the wire. Will Aura PH defend this? Pana, hindi tatama. Kilowash and the others, they're pushing forward.
On the hand.
Habol ba sila? Hindi.
Aura PH buying enough time para makabalik si JP sa laban na ito. Talaga nilang gigil na gigil talaga ang signal na tapusin pero ayaw pang bitawan ng blue side Aura PH.
This is looking to be one of the best games na meron tayo dito sa MPL-PH S6. Ang init na itong laban na to.
Init?
And it's not mainit because of, alam mo yon, yung tipong may story yung
Hindi
game.
mainit dahil sa ingay.
Hindi naman. Masyado ka naman.
Tama lang yun.
Mainit
Tama
siya.
lang yun.
Mainit siya in a sense na lahat ng etong mga players na to, they're pouring their hearts out dito sa game na to. Ayaw talaga nila magpatalo. They're doing everything to win.
Yep. And this is over a Raflesia Diggy. This is happening with a Diggy and an Angela on the other side. Hindi siya yung mga pang-skirmish na hero. Hindi siya yung mga panggigilan na dive-in lineups because of the supports.
Remember, yung mga malalakas sa team, sinasabi natin ngayon, isang mistake lang.
Isang wrong mistake.
Isang wrong mistake lang para sa side ng Signal Ultra. Kaya balik tayo ng Aura PH to. Yun yung running trend sa Aura PH. Isang mali, kaya balik ta rin.
And I think Signal Ultra kaya din nilang gawin yun dito. Like, if they miss out on JP, pag nagkamali si JP ng trigger dun sa Wind of Nature niya, pag naiwan si Kiluwash, pag hindi tumama ng maganda yung Raging Sandstorm nitong Khalid na to, that could be it.
Si Bensanity dito, kakaiba din yung galawan. Ang lakas magbato eh. Hindi, mamato. Hindi.
Mamato.
Mamato.
Diba yun?
Alam mo naman kasi yung brute force breastplate na yan.
Yun naman talaga ang mission kasi nitong Jawhead na to. Hanapin mo si JP, guluhin mo siya para hindi siya makafocus na makipaghampasan kay Hades or kay Imba DJ. And he's doing it very well. So good job dun sa mga offlane and sa tanks ng Signal Ultra for doing this.
Pero kasi, kapag namamato to si Bensanity, papansinin mo hindi basta-basta eh. Hindi si Raflesia, hindi si Kilowash, hindi si KLBJ. Lagi si JP. Lagi nga nalolocate, napipinpoint kung
all
nasa
the
si
time.
JP.
So ang laki ding challenge nun para kay Raflesia, yung time journey niya. No?
Kung kailan niya pipihitin,
Kung kailan niya gagamitin yun. Sino ba ang ililigtas ng time journey ni Raflesia? So big decisions are going to be the difference maker dito sa laban na to.
Sayang. Sayang, napatayo na lang dun talaga si Angela eh.
Oo nga. Gumagano na eh. Gumigiling na, nagti-TikTok na eh.
Nagti-TikTok na si Angela eh. Well, ganun, matagal-tagal na rin itong laro to. So, understandable na nagti-TikTok na si
Yung
Angela.
ibang hero, no? TikTok na lang.
Oo, ito. Nagkahulihan. KLBJ spinning in, lethal counter, nabato, sa may pinakalikod. JP still alive.
Tumatakbo
And this
si
is a good
Hades.
fight for the side of Aura PH. Unti-unti silang tumutumba dito. Bensanity using that stealth mask to get away. Rhea, will he go
JP!
down? JP, one more. Wala. Oy,
Wait, nasan si Hades? Nasan si Hades?
Nandun sa may gitna. Naku, nakita pa niya si Kagura.
Hades, man. Wala nang hard guard, so hindi siya makapasok sa main core ng Aura PH. Pero nakahanap siya ng nagbabak at si Greed ang nadali.
Aura PH,
Oops,
they are looking rattled by everything that has happened dito sa game na to. Pero even if sabihin natin nagkaroon ng lapses, nagkaroon ng mistakes on their part on running this Digi strategy, it's amazing na nandito pa din sila sa game na to. Signal Ultra, what a performance from them, pero kailangan mo din bigyan ng props itong Aura PH.
Absolutely.
Sobrang tindi nung pinapakita nilang determinasyon dito na hindi matalo.
Ito yung talagang the heart of the champion, hindi the heart of the cards, the heart of the champion na pinapakita nila dito sa puntong ito. And it's all gonna go boil down to this Lord take, my friend. Sinong magkakamali?
Hindi susuko.
Pwede pa rin mabaliktad ng all-in ng Aura PH to. Nagawa na nila to dati. Need to be careful.
What a match. Aura PH, tingnan natin kung paano nila i-settle to kasi all lanes are pushing to their side. Powered minions to. Lord is there. They cannot let it enter their base. Hindi dapat makalapit to kasi mag-charge yan. Hades going straight for JP. Hades dito cannot control the pressure, control the damage na binabato sa kanya dito ng other team. Sila Bensanity dito going straight in for that base. Can they finish? That is the question! Yes, they will!
It's a game 3! It's a game 3! Oh my God!
If ever na wipe out sila doon, that could have been Aura PH win. But, sabi dito ng Signal Ultra, may iba kaming plano eh.
He got something else for you boys.
Oo, hindi kayo
He got something else for
Aura
you.
PH, pasensya na. Hindi kami yung ibang team na may mga lakad kayo at nagagawa nyo. May iba
Oo.
kaming plano at may mga gagawin kaming hindi nyo expect, and they defeated that Diggy strategy na pinakita ng Aura PH sa atin.
Nakakabilib. I gotta say, Signal Ultra, they have an answer.
They have an answer.
They have an answer.
Seriously, they have an answer. And this is a really good setup for their side. 1-1. Pinakita lang dito ng Signal Ultra na they are worthy of facing the champions. And they can go head-to-head with the champions.
That's right. That's a statement right there. Tignan natin kung makakaya ba nila i-close out to kasi napakagandang question.
And we did see a cheese
We did
strat.
see a cheese strat.
We did see a cheese strat from Aura PH dito sa ating game number 2. Pero game number 3, mangyayari kaya uli yun. Tignan natin as we throw it back to Shinbu for his analyst segment. Shinbu, ako na bala.
Thank you, casters, for the awesome shoutcast. And, of course, thank you sa Signal Ultra and Aura PH for that awesome game. Ngayon, i-breakdown na natin. Silipin natin ang ating item post-game, ladies and gentlemen. And actually, I want you now to take notice of how heroes target each other here. We have a very interesting interaction dito, syempre. Of course, you got Raflisha trying to target the Ling here. And, interestingly, pag ginagamit kasi ang Diggy strategy, guys, no, the idea is to have a sacrificial support in exchange to pull behind the position 1 or the main core or carry ng kabilang team. Ano ba naman, maging 4v4 or 4v5 rather, kung tablado nga yung support nyo, no? Diggy, laging patay, pero kung yung core naman ng kabila ay behind. The idea is to make sure that Hades is behind. And to make sure of that, kasi ang idea din is tatakasan mo lang yung Diggy kung ikaw si Hades is keep the distance with the Diggy. So ang ginawa dito, pati Aura, inallocate si Kiluwash on targeting Hades here. And because of that, one side lane got a bit lighter because of Kiluwash being so involved with Hades by the early game. Lalo na sa mga buff take, makikita niyo yan sa highlights natin mamaya. And nagkaroon din ng freedom si Chujin. Mga tol, nagkaroon din ng freedom si Chujin mag-pop up. Binago niya yung playstyle niya sa Angela in such a way that it is not just a lane support. Chujin has been taking and racking kills, or ang mahalaga lang talaga, deal continuous damage, no, with this Angela. Kaya mapapansin nyo ang taas ng early game kills ni Chujin dito. And one of the highlights, or siguro kalahati ng highlights na nanggaling kay Chujin, ay nanggagaling sa mga kills niya. And not necessarily on that supportive nature ng isang Angela. There's also one that step up here. Finally, naniniwala tayo dito simula sa Atlas pa niya eh, no? Ngayon lang din ulit nakabawi si paring Ben Sanity. And a combination of Ben Sanity and Chujin plus actually Hades din, no, has a very powerful catch patungo kay JP. 5.0 performance rating para kay JP dito, mga kaibigan. There's very little freedom or breathing room din kay JP dito. Kung papansin mo, dapat yung Diggy yung pamprotekta syempre kay JP. Ano? By default, if you are accounting for that. Lane pressure naman ang tatrabahuin ni KLBJ, whereas Grid would want to land that setup at least. Pero separate fights yung kinukuha ng signal eh. Silipin natin ngayon ang ating post-game and look into our player numbers, and you can see the impact there of Chujin, no? This is relatively high. Well, we have a very long game then para sa isang support, mga tol. Lalo pa kung Angela ang gamit. And naging high impact din si Rhea, no? And Imba DJ pala. Forgot to mention almost that he has been impactful on the arrows by the early game. Again, why? Because the early game got lighter with Kiluwash, no, being involved in trying to delay Hades. And pag sinilip na natin, diretso na tayo kaagad dun sa smart highlights of the game. Pansinin nyo mabuti ang movements ni Hades, no, against Raflisha. He makes sure na whenever he is involved, he always runs away from Raflisha. Ito muna, yung mga unang segundo ng laro natin. This is a very beautiful rotation, no? Mula dito sa side ng Aura PH. There is, of course, pa yan. Actually, napatay ni JP, I think si Hades yata, at ibang membro ng Signal Ultra, down for the mid lane. These are early leads, of course, by Signal Ultra, pero yung iba kasi dyan are Diggy feed tactics. But nonetheless, look at this, no? Hades always maintains a good distance dito kay Rafflesia. Yun naman ang ginagawa ni Rafflesia is just keeping an eye towards Hades. Pero wala eh. Sila Imbi DJ, sila Ben Sanity, they've been popping off. Ito ang gandang play ito na ginawa ni, I think kay ano yata to galing eh. Kiluwash, yes, kay Kiluwash. This is already the cleanup for Kiluwash. And that is the 6-minute mark. That is actually the successful pickup na sana para kay Hades against kay Hades dito, mga tol. So, that's commendable performance there mula siyempre sa side ng Aura, but it was Signalo still able to answer. Lalo pa wala si JP doon. Pero nakuha kasi ni JP, turtle para sa laban na yon. And now, we had a game dragging on. Dito na tumataas yung value lalo ni Chujin as he has been involved mula kay Rhea para kay Ben Sanity. And for the most part, parang yung 4v4 fight config dito ng Aura at Signal Ultra, hindi ganun kaganda sa side ng Aura PH. Kahit meron silang Digitactic. Hades still deals a lot of damage. And even sa tulad nila Kiel BJ at nila JP, ang hirap makatakas. Ben Sanity is also zoning them out pretty big time, no? Although nag-drag out yung game. I think by the 20-minute mark, nag-stall out yung game natin, no? Medyo tumagal. Ito pa lang yung ending part natin, 22 minutes yun. Meron tayong parang 2 minutes na parang drag down. And look at this. Hindi na clear itong minion wave na to. And DJ knows his stuff. Dumalo na rin si Hades dito just to focus on to the base. Actually, sumayaw-sayaw pa si si Hades dito sa may bandang Gedli. Just so, makuha niya yung attention ng Aura PH. And yeah. So, ang daming kailangan trabahuin. Hindi na na-focus yung minion. Guys, if you are defending, this is a very, very basic concept and yet overlook part ng Mobile Legends, lalo na sa mga viewers natin. If you guys are defending, to truly defend your base, do not target the heroes, target the minions. Okay? Doon talaga yung sure na hindi kayo basta-basta mapupush. Kasi kapag nandyan yung minions, nawawala yung backdoor protection ng turret. Sobrang lambot ng turret sa Mobile Legends. Ayun yan. Alright, congratulations kay Hades dito. Good job. I think he is the very first one to beat, no, na carry, na nakaranas ng Digi strategy dito mula syempre sa Aura PH. Though, the Digi pick has been chosen as the third pick dito, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of freedom for them to answer against that Digi pick, no? Nang pinilian nila, lalo pa ng Angela. So I think commendable performance din kay Chujin, mga tol. Kunin niya na yung giveaway code natin. Napaka-chunky nung laban na yon. Sobrang saya panoorin and totally exciting, you know, seeing a challenger rise up to someone who is established, much like the Aura PH squad. Bonus giveaway code din, tol. Make sure you input that. And syempre, huwag niyong kalimutan na sumali sa ating mythical raffle draw. It's bit.ly/MRD-W6. That is the link towards our form. Fill it up. At kapag nakapag-fill up kayo, no, lalo pa, I think 5th week na tayo. Kung na-fill upan nyo mula week 1 hanggang week 5, kasali na kayo doon sa ating ultimate mythical raffle draw. Kung saan hindi lang basta skins ang prizes, kundi marami pang goodies ang kasama. Awesome stuff, mga tol. And an awesome series that we are seeing right now mula dito sa Signal Ultra and Aura PH. Nakakita na rin tayo ng Digi. I doubt we'll be seeing that on game number 3. But what I'm sure is we'll be seeing so many things na matindi dito sa series na to. Ibabalik na natin to sa ating mga casters. Back to you.
Maraming salamat, Shinbu. And man, oh man, we did not expect less of the series. Day number 3. Alam mo, nagigets ko yung persistence. Nagigets ko yung pagiging makulit or pagiging yung alam mo yung puso mentality. Na puso lang, laban lang. Walang mangyayari kung hindi tayo lalaban.
Tama.
Yun lang yung pinakita nila dito kasi ang mga Sunday matchups po is one time lang magkikita.
Yep, ito na yun. Like, kung
So,
may gusto kang patunayan laban sa isang opponent team, ito lang yung chance mo for the whole regular season.
So, ibig sabihin, ang gusto gawin na agad ng Signal dito, parang kahapon, nanalo tayo.
Oo.
Ngayon, settle pa natin yung score natin with Aura PH. Labanan pa natin
Bakit
sila lalo.
hindi? Diba?
Kumbaga, kukunin pa natin yung panalo. So, it's a 1-1. And Signal Ultra, I know na masaya sila sa ganitong setup. And dito tayo makakita ng kakaibang draft for the side of Aura PH.
For sure.
Kasi for Aura PH, pinul na nila yung idea or pinul na nila yung trick na Digi sa hat nila, it didn't work. Will they go for the normal set ngayon? Or will they go for another trick in the bag?
Well, if I was Signal Ultra, I would think I'm not gonna risk it. Magbaban na lang ako. Kung ako ang Signal Ultra. Pero knowing that we've successfully overcome a very big challenge, I would definitely have my confidence back to go back to my older lineups, to go back to what actually works for me. I would say that if I was Signal, this is a good time for me to really try to get the heroes I'm comfortable with. Kasi, and just ban out the thing that nagpahirap sa amin last game. Although the Angela, right? Who would have thought yung Angela pala, ang magiging difference maker dun sa laban na yun? It was a very, very impactful pick. And I'm not gonna be surprised if we see it again. This round.
It is what it is. And Signal Ultra versus Aura PH going the distance. Let's head on to our draft. Van face dito. Natalia para Signal Ultra. Aura PH naman. Uranus. And medyo sabi na lang natin, respeto.
Respeto talaga.
Yun na lang talaga yung nangyayari dito sa first phase ng banning natin. Yung first 3 bans usually. It goes to the respect bans of these teams. Aura PH don't really want to see a Uranus and most likely yung mga first pick material yung tatanggalin nila dito para sa side ng Signal Ultra. Pero kasi yung Signal Ultra, ayaw lang nila ng Natalia, ayaw lang nila ng Cho, kasi yan yung mga heroes talaga na nag-shine. Itong mga heroes na, itong mga player ng taga Aura PH.
And these are heroes na pag binan mo, mas makagiging komportable si Imba DJ to go for that Farsa pick which he is so good at. And it opens up options para sa draft mo. No? Aside from the Farsa, obviously we can also see most likely the Chang'e na hindi na basta-bastang mababackstab ng isang Natalia. A lot of picks are actually open.
Tsaka ano pala, hindi pala natin lagi napapag-usapan to, si Yebmeister.
Yebmeister, man.
Yebmeister.
Ano na, wala ba tayo dyan?
Kung nasa ka man, wala pa tayo dyan. Yebmeister is the 6th man of the side of Signal Ultra and it's a really good alam mo yun, parang strategist din kasi yung dating ni Yebmeister. So, you really have to look forward to that kung kailan siya maglalaro or how does he formulate yung mga pwedeng gawin ng bata nila outside of, syempre, yung itong nakikita niyo sa draft screen natin.
I think that's very important and he does influence the lineups for sure a lot.
Tsaka si Coach din, di ba? Si Coach.
Chill lang eh.
Si Coach, chill lang. And basta sila
they look happy. They look really happy
masaya
about
naman
that
sila.
last
Actually, kung titignan mo nga, ito na yung pinakamalaking ngiti na makikita mo. Ayan tignan mo
For the
dito.
tuwing panonood ka talaga sa
napapangiti lang sila eh.
Tuwing nanonood ka ng Signal, parang medyo seryoso, di ba? Seryoso yan
Pero napapasmile sila.
Medyo okay pa last game.
Napapasmile sila eh.
Si Shujin Baldebolin, parang napapaisip. Maka-Angela kaya ulit ako ngayon.
Tandaan mo yung
or back to Balmon.
pwede. Pero alam mo, ito lang sabihin ko kung paano mag-lead yung pag-lead dito ni Imba DJ para sa team na to, it reminds me of Raflesia, Greed, Venus, and the other great captains, Pew, mga ganon. Alam mo yun, kumbaga, he's actually shaping up to be one of the best captains dito sa MPL. So, nadadala niya tong mga kanyang mga members to a whole another level. Yuzhong, ang dragon ay nandyan na naman. Pero ang sabi dito ng Aura PH, sige, kunin natin si Khalid at si Kufra.
Para pang sure win yung gustong gawin
The double
lineup
K combination yan, KK yan.
Oo. Pang sure win to, man. Aura PH, they're not taking any risks with this draft. They are going to be able to... Ang pinaka-risk na ginawa nila dito is binigay nila yung Yuzhong. Which is not... we've seen historically na kaya naman nila mag-deal with this Yuzhong. Unlike some teams na parang kailangan talagang iban mo. No? So, kaya ng Aura to. I wonder what's gonna be the supporting roles. Nakakamoy na ako ng ng mga Imba DJ heroes dito eh. I'm spelling the Chang'e.
Ako, Farsa.
And yeah, the Farsa is very big option. Pero
who knows? Chang'e is there as well.
Chang'e is there for both Aura and Signal. Both these teams like the Chang'e pick actually. And the Farsa is going to be, of course, higher priority. Like I said, Imba DJ, as long as walang Natalia, as long as walang mga picks na tulad ng ganyan na kaya mag-dive in sa kanya, he's gonna be very happy. Pero pamigay na yung Kufra, obviously kaya nang gawin yun.
Johead talaga yung pamigay ni Johead talaga yung kinukuha ni Signal kapag kakalaban niya yung mga teams na ganito, yung mga RPH. And I think it's an underrated hero. Ang dami nagpipihim sa akin sa page actually kung bakit daw hindi doon napipili si Johed. Pero there are reasons why. And hindi na natin siya ita-dive in totally talaga. Pero kasi it's only, sabihin na natin, Johed is only good versus a specific set of heroes.
Yes. And these are heroes na medyo mahirap maabot sa likod and are super squishy. And that's not something na hindi lahat din ng player komportabling gamitin. Diba? Mahirap siyang i-pull off. Yung ginagawa nila Bensante na
Mahirap
combo,
yun.
na dive into the backline na walang katakot-takot, hindi lahat ng player gagawin yun. That's why.
So, medyo aggressive talaga ang lineup ng Signal Ultra kapag meron sila netong Johed na to. And kasi pareho lang din ng idea eh. Kung kukuha ka ng Cho, di ba anong gagawin mo? Wave the Dragon mo,
pabalik.
to the Feathered Airstrike, tapos huhulihin mo doon, tatamaan mo ng 3 procs, okay na yon.
Yep.
For Johed kasi, pareho lang, unstoppable force, iba to mo in place. Feathered Airstrike. Yun lang din halos yun eh. Kung baga magle-layer na din yung stunts mo nun eh.
That's
The
true.
Feathered Airstrike. So,
It's all about keeping this guy alive, man.
it's all about keeping this guy alive.
Keeping him in charge, keeping him aware of the surroundings para ma-lead niya yung team niya to victory. However, we're still looking for the carry rules for both of our teams. Nako, ito na naman tayo. Nagkakabanan na naman tayo ng mga carry, tol.
Ako, ang ganda nung ban ng Claude. Kasi, eto sabihin ko sa'yo, si Ling, sila Lancelot, kaya gamitin ni JP. Pero, ever since, marksman talaga ang usual ginagamit ni JP. They made adjustments and magaling siya doon. Pero in his nature talaga, likas ang pagiging marksman.
Yep. And offlane naman ang sagot ng Aura PH. And I think this is the marksman picks are very underused lately. And kung marksman ang bagsak natin, most likely carry na si JP, di ba? Pero hindi naman siya most likely magpipick. So ang tanong dito is Lancelot versus Ling na naman ba ang magaganap?
Kaya nga si Manjin medyo nagiging masaya kapag nakakita siya ng mga marksman na pwedeng piliin eh. Lalo na sa MPL. Nung nakita niya si Kari, tuwan-tuwa siya nun eh.
Yeah,
Kasi,
for sure. Tumatalon yun.
Tumatalon yun kasi si Hisun Shin, medyo nahihirapan siya dun sa single, double mechanic.
Yung harapan.
Oo, yung harapan mechanic.
Kasi yung nasa likod lang,
gusto niya yung
bato
nasa
lang
likod,
ng bato.
hampas lang. Yan,
Hindi mo na pwede gawin kay
Hindi mo pwede gawin kay Hisun Shin yun. Kasi kailangan kay Hisun Shin.
Yung critical eh.
Oo.
Malaking bagay yung critical sa Hisun Shin.
Kumbaga, pumapana ka, palung-palo ka pa. Yung pinaka-importante.
Importante yun. So, for now, it will be the Ling. I think it's gonna be a Lancelot Ling espadahan na naman. And that's normal. This is a normal thing to see.
This is.
Nothing too crazy coming in from our teams, bro. So, tanks, are we still looking for a tank? This is a very tanky lineup already for Signal Ultra. Atlas?
I guess they could...
Hylos?
Kaya pa nila kumuha.
Kaya pa eh, no?
Extra
Pwede pa
tankiness.
eh, actually.
Pero ito na eh. Feeling ko ito na yung tank, ito na yung support. Ito na yung tank, ito na yung support. Yung Johed Farsa na. Carry, and then a side
One
laner.
more offlaner na maganda.
One more offlaner.
I don't know, I really like the beefiness ng Aura PH na yung pinapakita ng lineup nila is something na medyo kayang mag-sustain ng matagal. Sylvana? Ito na sinasabi ko, tol. Ito na nga yun. Hindi nga tank offlaner nga, pero parang medyo iba. Ibang offlaner
Dueling
ang napili
capability.
nila.
Ito kasi, dueling capability. Tapos kapag sabihin na lang natin, kung tumapat si Kilowash kay, kunyari, itong Khaled, tumapat kay Sylvana, pagka lumuot siya doon, i-drill siya nun eh.
There you go. And as expected, as predicted, mula kanina pa, Chang are gonna be getting into Aura PH. Now, how do you feel about the Sylvana pick and the lack of main tank for Signal Ultra? Tingin mo sapat na talaga yung Johed?
Yeah, they proved to us na kaya naman. Yuzhong will be the one to cause distraction while sila Bensanity and si Rhea dito magiging isolation yung play nila. What do I mean about isolation? Kasi napaka-importante para sa Farsa na you hold people in one place. So ang gagawin mo, ultihan mo Sylvana, tatalian mo si Johed, ibabato mo yung isang tao. So, kumbaga, kapag ka perfectly execute nila yung setup nila dito na hindi naman ganun kahirap. Para may isa o dalawang tao nang matatanggal dito agad sa side ng Aura PH. For Aura PH naman, yung side laners sila dito, this is going to be interesting kasi nga Sylvana has high damage and can really bully out yung mga tao, lalo na kapag ka nahuli ka niya nung stun niya.
Yep, and yung kulong ni Sylvana,
Oo.
ang pinakamalaking bagay dito, will it be enough to hold down JP's Ling? Let's find out as we head into Game 3, mga kaibigan, of Signal Ultra versus Aura PH. It's looking really hot, and I'm not gonna be surprised if we see a long game here.
Masusurpresa lang ako dito kapag umabot tayo ng game number 4.
Oo naman. Doon ka magulat,
Best of
tol.
lang to eh.
Doon ka magulat.
Oh, yun. Doon ako magugulat talaga.
Talaga
But-
ako no?
Aura PH, they will go for the early secure netong buff, and lalo na kapag kasi nakukuha ng Aura PH yung Ling on JP, kailangan talaga nila bigyan ng extra tulong yan into getting that buff at level 1. Kasi nga, kapag dating ng level 2 ng mga heroes dito ng side ng Signal Ultra at hindi pa rin nakukuha yan, automatic tatalon yan sila papunta kay Ling. Bensanity dito, kinokontrol. Siya pa yung
Bensanity.
nabato. And Raflesia dito used to force the flicker out, and they got so much out of that. 5-man rotation dito to the middle lane para Signal Ultra habang si Kel VJ libre sa may baba.
Interestingly enough, I think mas papabor talaga yung game na to if it prolongs for Signal Ultra. So these very interesting picks from Signal Ultra, it only adds up to their unique heroes picks. Feeling ko nagpapataas ng stats tong Signal Ultra no? Yun ang nangyari dito. So tignan natin if that's gonna be impactful. Because in the late game, they do scale better. Yuzong is gonna scale better. Pati itong Sylvana to. At syempre naman, yung ating carries, Shujin will be doing, Hades will be doing a lot better.
So ang puhunan kasi talaga dito ni Rhea din, yung Sylvana, is yung fact na yung damage niya empowered sa pinakaunang setup pa lang because of the passive. Meron siyang added damage agad with those basic attacks.
Tama.
And tatandaan natin na may stacks pang nangyayari. And ano ba nangyayari, Rockard, kapag kayo stacks na yun ay napuno?
Yeah. Carry in the target will be basically extra damage. 30% extra damage. Lalambot yung target mo.
So ibig sabihin, habang yung ibang tanks nagsusustain, habang yung isang ibang offlane nagsusustain, ikaw, ang ginagawa mo, hindi mo sila ina-atake dun sa region nila. Pinapataas mo yung damage mo.
Pinapalambot mo yung kalaban.
Pinapalambot mo yung kalaban. So, ibig sabihin, with the Durants, sila Khalid and sila Thams, nagkakaroon sila talaga ng problema.
That's right. And that's just extra stuff that you need to think about. Na, alam mo yung mga teams natin, sanay sila na, kalaban ko, halimbawa, Thams ako, kalaban ko Uranus, mga ganun, Khalid. This is another layer of thinking. Parang dadagdagan mo yung kailangang isipin nung kalaban mo. Kasi medyo unfamiliar hero siya eh. Diba?
Tsaka yung Imperial Justice. Yung
Yep.
Imperial Justice talaga, yung tatapos dyan.
Difference maker yan. Pag nakulong siya ng multiple targets on the Imperial Justice, pag sobrang busy sila sa gitna ng laban, sobrang ang laking difference maker nun sa team fights. And I'm pretty sure Aura PH knows this hero, pero I'm not sure they've seen it in pro play yet.
Okay, so kaya dito napapansin nyo, ladies and gentlemen, yung pressure ng Aura PH, nandun sila sa side ni Sylvana, is because si Sylvana is good at 1v1. Pero kapag ka nalagyan na ng pressure si Sylvana, hindi na kinakaya ng Sylvana yun.
Yun nga, ang problema sa Sylvana, sobrang linear niya.
Oo.
Madaling basahin yung gagawin ng Sylvana. Like right now, yun, it's going to be a problem. However, hindi naman yun ang focus ng Signal. Ang focus ng Signal is to still give Hades all of the resources na pwede lang mabigay sa kanya.
Ngayon, nagamit na nila agad dito
Imperial Justice,
yung ultimate
lock
Imba
in.
DJ, Imperial
Hindi
Justice.
makatakas yung
is
Khalid.
there. Hindi makatakas yung Khalid, pero hindi nila kailangan. Binaliktad pa nila to. Hades dito. Next target para kay JP. Nasa turtle area pa sila, so they can convert that win into a turtle. Pero hindi hahayaan ni Imba DJ dito. Kilowatt. Nag-sun skating siya
Grabe si
doon.
Imba DJ.
Nagkahulihan pa nga, and Imba DJ will go down.
Yep, that was a nice try for Imbali to micro in out of there. Pero again, you don't have enough teammates to protect you. He goes down and Turtle, mapunta naman sa Aura PH.
Signal Ultra, nakita ng Aura PH dito yung opening eh. Parang, sige lang, mamaya malakas kayo kasi mag-scale kayo. Mahirapan kami kasi makakuha kayo ng mga concentrated energy, Necklace of Durance, magiging mahirap na kalabanin yung Sylvana.
Oo.
Pero ngayon, kami muna.
Kami muna, di ba?
Kami muna ang gagalaw. So kung gusto nyo mag-scale, mamaya na.
Pero again, yung power ng Aura PH dito, especially with the Hookra, hindi mo pa rin may kakaila. Although KLPJ, 1v3, kaya yung tumagal. Contra Inferno with a vengeance. Yes, he can. Pero the backup will be here na, and Repletion will be a bit too late. Locking down Chujin, where is the damage output? Si Kuya Greed ang bahala doon, pero hindi pa rin sapat.
Ang ganda ng posisyon dito ni Greed to get a kill on Ben Sanity. And nandito na rin si JP. Chujin dito will go down, and this is the punish setup. Hades going in with the Lycan Pounce. And JP sana ang tatamaan na ng Feathered Airstrike, pero with the Tempest of Blades, he will get out. At gusto pa ni Imba DJ, hinahabol niya pa si JP. Hop,
my God.
kamunti ka na tamaan doon ng Imperial Justice. Etong
Agoy!
si Ling, but that is going to be the Khalid with his ultimate. Not really hitting, pero that was a nice try kasi nga napuwersa pa rin naman si Rhea gamitin yung flicker niya.
That's right. And malaking bagay yun. Until later, malaking bagay na walang flicker. Si Rhea, yun lang ang nag-iisa niyang exit kung sakaling magkamali siya ng Imperial Justice.
Oy!
Roughly siya with that Tyrant's Rage into nothing. Patay ang germs. He got pushed back there a little bit.
Oh,
He got distracted there. That's fine, that's fine.
Alam mo,
That's a normal
pang
thing.
ano lang yan eh. Pwede naman natin sabihin na pang... well, nag-miss talaga eh. Pakiramdam ko kung nag-miss talaga. Pero ito si Kilowash, pwede siya mahuli ni Ben Sanity dito. JP and Kilowash, hindi talaga sila nagwawalay.
Hindi nagwawalay, man.
Hindi sila nag-iiwanan.
Nagwawalay. Malupit. This is a two-team. Tunay na team.
Ang lalim ng Tagalog.
Tunay na teamwork.
Hoy!
No way!
What?
No way! Imba
Oy!
DJ!
Ano ginagawa neto ni Imba DJ? Naku po! Kamuntikan na yung ultimate, hindi na napahit!
Nakakabaliw tong game na to, ah. Nakakabaliw tong game na to. Iba talaga ang bakbakan na nagaganap dito mula sa Aura PH at Signal Ultra. Imba DJ steals the turtle and nadali din ang championship group for a near Reflection.
And kung babasinin nyo dito, makukuha ni Imba DJ etong turtle na to. Bakit hindi nag-retry si JP? Kasi wala siyang retry. It's seconds before. Isang hit na lang. Isang
Cooldown
one hit na lang.
Isang one hit. Pero na-realize siya, oops, wala pala akong retry. Kailangan ko humampas, pero it's too late. Mas malakas ang sakit ng Feathered Airstrike. Here we go again. Another team fight here. Aura PH, bigyan na Geld. Low ang greed natin. Pero si Hades ang magiging target. He goes down to KLPJ. Napakasakit ng apoy.
Eto na yung dragon. Ano yung hinabol yung bata? Oh, pero nandito si Imba DJ, hinahabol yung ibon. Hinahabol yung ibon. Hinabol niya si Chango. Wala magawa si Chango eh.
And at this point,
Dragon versus bata, wala.
Wala. Mahirap talaga yan. Mahirap. Hindi kaya ng bata kahit may backup pa siya nung kanyang alaga. It's a wipeout, mga kaibigan. Signal Ultra losing out on that very big spread out na team fight.
But then again, Yuzhong dito, yun ba talaga yung tingin mong trabaho niya na abutin si Greed?
Parang may mali eh. Especially if you're alone,
diba?
Lalo kung mag-isa ka, paano kung nakite ka? Wala kang additional na crowd control aside from your own skit. I think that might have been a bit of a mistake and an overextension with that Signal.
Greed and the others, they're just setting up on this turtle area. I like yung setup nila. And kung papansinin mo, yung Feathered Airstrike, nagkakakapitan lang sila. And eto na naman yung Dragon, naghahabol na naman sila. It's gonna chase down Chango.
Tinitiis ang between.
And tinitiis niya in between. Si Chujin dito, hindi niya kaya yung damage output na binibigay dito ng side ng Aura PH. Although makukuha ng Signal Ultra dito, yung turtle,
Naku, si
merong
JP.
extra protection si
Nakulong.
Hades dito. Hindi basta-basta tutumba si Hades ng ganun lang. Pero si Greed dito, next target sana niya, Kilowash here, going in and out, dashing through the sand in the one-horse open sleigh. Malapit na magpasko.
Malapit na Pasko, pero hindi sa buhangin. Baka Manila Bay ang bagsak mo dyan.
Oo.
Here we go into the mid lane. Greed with that pressure, pero nakakagulat. Aray ko po! Napakasakit! Tinis!
Yun yung magiging problema kapag ka tinayuan mo yung meteor shower.
Wag naman ganun. Wag naman tayuan ng ganun.
Pagka tinayuan mo
I think
meteor
yung tower
shower,
na
hindi
yun, bagsak
kaya.
na talaga yun eh. They should have actually just let that go. Now, it's gonna be Signal Ultra trying to play catch-up mula sa Aura PH who are getting a lot of gold from the towers. Plus si Greed, wala masyadong pumapansin kay Greed aside from Yuzhong. Diba? Everyone's just trying to endure the damage.
Kasi kung iisipin mo din kasi, sige, ganito. Si Greed kasi mataas yung damage output niya. Pero pagka naiwasan mo kasi yung meteor shower, parang
Okay lang.
okay na eh.
Ang problema, sinasalo nila. Yun ang tanong doon. What's happening? Chujin with the Dragon Form para makarakas. And the rest of Aura PH are looking forward into clearing out the base or the jungle of Signal Ultra para mag-ready na din doon sa Lord na dadating in 30 seconds.
Very nice setup or very nice positioning from both of the teams dito. They're not really giving out that much of a you know, advantage to each other. Hindi naman din nila hinahanap dito yung mga setup na alam mo yun sobrang komplikado na alam mo yun yung mga dead crush pa sila, baka sila pa yung mahuli pabalik. And for Aura PH dito hindi din kasi nila talaga mamadali.
Hindi din talaga.
Kasi ang pinaka-importante factor dito yung Farsa pa rin. So every single time na sabihin natin na may Farsa dyan, it's not about them going down to the Farsa eh. It's about the minions going down to the Farsa.
The minions.
The minions.
The
Hindi
minions
hindi yung mga hero. Kasi yung mga hero makakatakas lang yan. Pero kapag pagka tumulak ang minions at hindi nahuli dito ng Pellet Airstrike, literally, it's just gonna go down.
That's right.
You cannot push kasi lagi ka madidelay.
And aside from the Feathered Airstrike, aside from the Farsa, I think yung reasoning nila dito sa
Si
draft
Rhea na naman
ni
yung nabigyan
Rhea,
talaga dito.
ayan, napaka-update. Wala silang pang-block, wala silang pang-stun. Hindi nila kayang i-cancel yung Meteor Shower netong Greed. At dahil doon, they are suffering a lot of damage output. As I was saying, Rhea, I think that the reasoning behind this draft is pag nakulong si Ling si JP ng Imperial Justice, matagal siyang nakaipit doon sa bilog na yun at kaya nila ma-takedown yun.
Kaya hindi siya makapasok agad eh.
Kaya hindi din basta-bastang makapag-aggressive tong si JP. Usually, aggressive na aggressive to eh. Pero ngayon, hindi niya magawa because you need to be super aware kung nasaan si Rhea at all times.
That is actually a good point. But you know what? Aura PH dito, they are going in. Talagang ginagamit na nila yung Lord advantage nila dito. Imba DJ almost going down. Rhea dito yung Sylvana. Hindi na nila nagamit as he is the first one to go out of this fight. Nawala din si Kilowash dito. Na-dive din siya ni Hades. Pero si Chujin dito, wala na rin siyang Dragon Form. So, ibig sabihin, everyone is in, sabihin na natin, equal standpoint, equal footing. At maganda pala si Kaflisha, hindi pa napipihit yung ulti niya.
Totoo. There's no big... This time, wala na yung mga big wombo combo na biglaang Tyrant's Rage. More pang safety na lang eh. Ang ginagawa ni Felicia, more for safety na lang, reserving it for a very good time to save his teammates. And it's working very well for Aura PH. I like it. It's working. JP though, Tempest of Blades to get out. And forces Rafflesia back. It's the knock-up and the Tyrant's Rage into the wall. Pero may immortality daw si Ben Sati will be able to walk away with his life.
This game, this series, nakaka-drain.
Nakaka-drain talaga.
Nakaka-drain. Berserker's Fury, nakuha na ni JP dito. And this is an interesting point para sa Aura PH kasi yun ang may ginagawa nila dito. Hindi pa nila talaga pinipilit eh. Oh.
Ayaw talaga.
Hindi nila pinipilit.
They're being super safe. They are respecting the power of Signal Ultra right now in the team fights and the possibilities that will come from this Sylvana pick.
Inaantay lang talaga nila dito si Raplisha eh. Ramdam ko na yung pag-aantay nila sa isang malaking
Nakatingin na sila eh, no?
pagsabog ni Raplisha.
Nakatingin na sila sa pulang sa pulang the bagong skin nitong Cupra na to.
Si JP doon, nag-half yung HP niya. Kilowash, nakikipag-clear wave lang sila dito. Ito lang yung laro ng clear wave.
clear waves. They have the tools to clear the waves for sure. In 13 minutes in the game, I would say na they are doing a good job. Pero 10,000 gold na ang lamang ng Aura PH, 13 gold, 13 kills. And the base of Signal is already open. This means isang maling galaw lang will be a big problem here. And looks like nangyari na nga ang pasok ni Rafflesia with the Raging Sandstorm as well. Hades very low, cannot keep up with Kiluash at ngayon wala pa si JP, nag-regen, naghahanap ng lifesteal pero gusto nang tapusin ng kampi niya ang laban na to.
Okay, Aura PH, they're gonna close this out with a 2-1. The back-to-back champions shows us how it's done. Yung Diggy hindi man gumana pero for Signal Ultra, that was a good game. That was a good game na game number 2, pinarusahan nila kung ano man cheese strat na ginagawa dito ng Aura and it's a good series. If ever you want to see or learn how to, control or yung kung paano yung tamang galaw into playing Mobile Legends, and then I suggest this is one of the games na kailangan mo talaga panoorin.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, people were expecting a big difference between these two teams dahil sa layo ng score nila sa scoreboard. Pero yung the fight was just, it gave justice. Parang kumbaga, hindi porket behind yung Signal sa score, Eagles na. It was a close fight. And Aura PH had to exert maximum effort para ma-secure yung game.
And that is that. So, Signal Ultra, good game. Good game. Yun naman sabi ko para sa inyo. Ang ganda ng performance nyo. Walang I couldn't really ask for a better series than that. You fell short pero still yung expectations, you went beyond it. Lahat alam mo yun, lahat ng pwede nyo ibato nabigay nyo dito sa series na to. This is the last time that you'll meet in the group stages, the groups, pero hats off para sa inyo. Aura PH, still your back-to-back champions, pero kailangan, dami nilang pwede patunayan dito for the next matches. Pero ito, Hishinbu, alam kong nag-excite, sobrang excited niya ng iba to. Lahat ng nalaman niya sa game na yun. Kasi nakita ko siya, nakanonood talaga siya. So Shin, ano yung nangyari sa panonood mo?
Well, it was a very, very focused game. Lalo pat ang Aura ay nakuha kung ano yung mga gusto nilang pick. Once again, I'm Shibu with the one for an eye. Ito ang ating solo analyst segment. Maraming salamat syempre sa malupit na shoutcast mula sa ating mga casters. 2-1 para sa Aura PH. And yeah, no? If there are certain moments dito sa MPL na gusto nyo mapagbantayan, it would be moments of greatness. I would dare say for this series, maybe not for the game, but for this series, I think ang daming moment of greatness mula sa Signal Ultra. Very commendable performance pa rin mula sa Signal Ultra. Although we're seeing bronze here para dito sa ating scoreboard. But here's the thing, no? It is actually of the potency of the composition ng Aura PH, no? They have a very solid front line. And with this kind of result, doon ko lang na-realize talaga yung hindi pala doon, no? Doon lang na-emphasize lalo yung impact talaga and power ng isang Khalid. Works so much like a Khufra, except that meron siyang regeneration at meron siyang napakagandang AoE and pwede siya makiduel, no? The Raging Sunstorm is really a very threatening skill anytime, anywhere, no? And also, ang solid ng frontline dito ng Aura PH. You're gonna be seeing silver tier performance para dito kay KelVJ. Pero there are so many moments of greatness din para kay KelVJ, especially in dueling with Signal Ultra. That is, kahit sabihin natin hindi super high kill count yung kanyang thumbs dito, I think if titingnan natin yung kanyang raw stats in terms of damage received and damage dealt, solid pa rin. JP is on the Ling. No surprise on this kind of performance, lalo pa kay JP on the Ling. Na-nerf na pati yung Ling, no? Pero alam natin, pinakita ni JP that he doesn't bother, no? So, looking into the post-game stats, ito nga yung sinasabi natin. If you look onto the performance here of KelVJ, pagdating doon sa TAMS, that is quite sizable in terms of damage received, no? Sulit na sulit yung kanyang counter and Inferno dito. Of course, expect mo na yan kay Rafflesia because he's also very involved and he has his fair share of fights na kasama siya na talagang high impact din kasi 4-3-11 na very, very high kill participation on this main tank of Aura PH. Kiluas may mga parts na sakto lang. Pero I think, you know, the Raging Sandstorm was pretty much on point for that game. And that's why everything just lined up properly for Aura PH. And it escalated very much in favor of them. Hades tried for the consistency. I still have questions, syempre, on the Sylvanas. Although, probably because, you know, you do just want to really have that dueling capacity. Maybe for the Khalid, maybe for the Thams then. But I think there are better heroes talaga. And you'd want the element of crowd control sa Aura PH. Kasi what makes the Aura PH composition so good is hindi lang durability para sa frontline nila. It is of the amount of sheer crowd control na pino-provide AOE ni Kufra and ng Khalid dito. To the point that Ben Sanity tried to replicate his playstyle mula dun sa game number 2. But remember, game number 2 is very different for Aura PH because that is a Digi composition game and dito nagsuffer yung jawhead ni Ben Sanity. Ayan, alam natin yan. Ibang composition, ibang playstyle dapat yung ginagawa mo pa rin even with the same hero. Okay na sana, nakuha na rin sana yung Yuzong pero naparusahan pa rin. Now, on to the smart highlights of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, makikita nyo nga dito kung gaano kaagad may magandang control dito ang mga taga-Aura PH. GP is someone who's very willing to actually land and dive, especially for the early game, as long as his buff is secured. Alam mo yun, hindi ka na nahigla pababa ng kalaban mo, edi ikaw naman. And there you go, you got Raflisha as well, making his fair share of explosive plays. And just from the 4-minute mark kaagad, may 2K gold lead na ang Aura PH dito. Also want to mention yung beauty ng composition dito ng Aura PH na, alam mo yan, they have a very solid backline damage in the form of the Chango just so they could establish pressure here. And to the point, you'd see how this highlight will creep in na isang set lang ng Torre sa side lane ang nawala sa Aura PH kumpara sa Signal Ultra na naubos lahat ng Torre nila. That is a massive highlight play. Siyempre, mula rin kay Imba DJ after stealing the turtle. Pero it's not really about the objective control, yung strength ng composition nito. It is the durability and willingness to fight. This is one heavy mistake onto the side of Chujin, no? Usual mistake. Actually, sometimes you'd want your Yuzong to be dancing around this, protecting your squishies, Imba DJ, pero busy si Yuzong doon, trying to chase down KLVJ, and that's why I love KLVJ on this fight. Actually, may napatumba na siya dyan, tas trinay siya habulin ng Yuzong, and was able to survive. Although, kasi may Torre rin naman, may Torre din naman na, nandoon para kay KLVJ. So, he was able to walk away unscathed at binalikan na lang ng mga taga-Aura PH yung naghabol na Yuzong. It was, here we get the wipe actually, no? And yeah, that's it. It's actually just an encashment na lang para sa side ng Aura PH. Ang laki na kasi ng lamang talaga, mga tol. And for that part, I think humahanap na sana ng game-changing play dito si Ben Sanity, no? Yun din kasi yung talagang pwedeng pambawi dito ng Signal Ultra against Aura. But the problem here is, ang dami talagang pwedeng ibato ng Aura in the form of the Raging Sandstorm, in the form of the threat from Raflisha. It's really nice to see Raflisha back on the Kufra. Alam natin yan. He's been rolling around with the Hilda and even the Digi, no? That's it. That's how it's done. Actually, may nasacrifice pa yata dito. Now, actually, ito na yung resulta, no? Kung saan they were willing to actually sacrifice someone just so they can secure a turret, an inhibitor turret push. And that's how it's done here for Aura PH. Now, our MVP of the game would be of Chango. Interestingly, ang aking list top hero for that part. But I did feel that this Chango was enabled, no? Madalas yung mga MVP natin is yung mga na-enabled na heroes and, you know, dish out big damage. And that's why di rin natin na nakukuhang MVP pa yung mga natin. Enabler. I would call enabler. Pero Changu was a very big add-on to the team. If we're gonna be highlighting something na provide ni dito, ni Grid dito, it is clearly pressure. And with pressure, in whatever lead na nakuha nyo for every clash, no, pressure is your insurance na hindi basta-basta mababawi yon. Pressure is actually the effective recipe para tuloy-tuloy lang yung tulak nyo against sa kalaban. Makikita mo yan kapag fast forward mo yung minimap. Makikita mo kung paano lumiliit yung mapa ng Signal Ultra. Still, tama si Butters, commendable performance yon para sa Signal Ultra. Nakakabilib. I do love the fact, yes, I do love the fact na napigilan na yung run ng Digi strategy. Hindi, pwede pang i-pick yun syempre ng Aura PH, pero I do love the fact na, alam mo yun, meron ng team na naging victorious. That is the first victory against Aura PH. Digi din naman. But anyway, let's move on to our player interview. We get an interview mula sa side dito ng Aura PH. At walang iba yon kundi ang taong nagpauso mag-share ng page niya sa mga comment sections ng mga posts. Raflisha, ladies and gentlemen. Raf, naririnig mo ako, tol?
Yes po, ready po.
Okay, okay, Raflisha. Sige, mauna na ako sa tanong. I think I'm gonna be asking, I think yung mga tanong na gusto rin malaman ng mga tao dito. First is, what happened with that Digi by game number 2? Parang hindi nag-work.
Actually, ano lang yun eh. Biglaan lang yung strategy kasi nakita namin na nag-ban sila ng Hilda. So, nasa isip namin, pwede nilang i-pick yung Digi and kami yung mami-mismatch. So, kumbaga inunahan lang po namin sila sa picking.
Kaya nag-third pick na kayo ng Digi, no? Doon kami nagulat lahat eh. Inunahan nyo pala.
Yes po. Baka kasi makuha nila, lalo kami malulugi.
Mapapanish yung, tsaka naban yung Hilda eh, no? Mapapanish din si JP nga pala nun, no? Okay, that is true. Okay, okay, eto, Raflisha, ang katanungan ko ngayon regarding the tank position. Actually, ngayon, parang ngayon na lang namin ulit nakita yung Kufra mo. No, tol? So, ang gusto ko ngayon malaman mula syempre sa isa sa mga umaalingaw-ngaw na pangalan ngayon during this regular season na tank player. Raflisha, can you recommend us good tanks para sa mga viewers natin na ire-recommend mong dapat laruin nila at bakit?
For me, yung mga hero muna ngayon eh. Yung mga, siguro
Can you name
mag-start
them?
sa basics. Yung mga katulad nung ginamit ko hapon, Hylos. Kasi isa siya sa basic hero na basic siya sa
Hylos.
controls pero hindi mo magigets yung mechanic niya kasi mahirap talaga siya gamitin. Hindi ka pwedeng lumalim. Kumbaga ganun. Doon nag-i-start yung playstyle. Tapos the rest nun, pwede ka na mag-pick ng mga Kufra Atlas. Kasi doon mo na magigets yung protecting ng core mo tsaka yung setting ng clash.
Yung parang initiate mo or setup, ganon, dahan-dahan.
Opo.
Okay, sige. So, noted on that. We got Hylos, for going back to basics, and Kufra and Atlas naman for those initiates and maybe higher level playstyle. Sige, paring Raf, yun lamang din ang aking katanungan. So, eto na, hindi na comment section stall. Pwede ka mag-plug dito at pwede mo ring pasalamatan lahat ng gusto mong pasalamatan personally at galing syempre sa team mo.
First of all, thank you kay Boss Chris. Thank you so much for trusting us. Shoutout sa fans ng Aura PH. Thank you for supporting us. Shoutout sa family ko and shoutout sa girlfriend ko, si Rizzy Pardinas. Thank you for supporting us. Shoutout sa pamangkin ko na si Julian. Enjoy ka dyan. Thank you so much guys. Maraming salamat.
Ayun, maraming salamat din. Maraming salamat din JP at syempre sa Aura PH for that commendable performance. Mabuhay kayo, tol. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. JP, Raflisha ng Aura PH, walang iba. Grabe yung pag-alingaw mo syempre ni Raflisha talaga, especially on that time that he pioneered picking the Digi on MPL-PH. No, medyo matagal na rin naman yung Digi strategy. Nakakatuwa lang yung fact na willing siya i-gamble and willing talaga yung Aura PH pull off yung ganong strategy allegedly as part of pro play. Giveaway code, ladies and gentlemen, kunin nyo na yan. Alright, those are awesome goodies syempre mula sa MLBB at meron pa tayong pa-bonus. We got our bonus giveaway code lalo pat na-achieve ating 10,000 mythical raffle draw entries. So, keep on claiming that, no? Keep on claiming that. Sa inyo na yan. Palagi yan. Every solo analyst segment natin, may binibigay tayong ganyan. So, do not hesitate on capturing it, no? Picturean nyo or something like that. And, syempre, yung ating mythical raffle draw, no? Na link. Fill it up. It's at bit.ly/MRD-W6. That is gonna be the form for next week, syempre. At para malaman nyo rin kung kayo yung mananalo, diba? Kasi ina-announce natin yan every week in the form of paroleta. And if you filled up 5 of that form throughout the whole regular season, then you get a chance to participate doon sa ating Ultimate Mythical Grand Raffle Draw kung saan hindi lang basta skins ang prizes kundi awesome goodies din mula syempre sa MPL. So, yun na muna tayo mga tol. We have a very exciting series number 3. Mamaya yan, we got ONIC versus NXP for the finisher of our weekend for this MPL. Kaya naman hindi ko na kayo patatagalin pa. Maraming salamat syempre sa sponsors natin that makes this event possible. We got our official telco partner, ang Smart. Ladies and gentlemen, squad up, rank up, and keep up with your favorite teams as Smart powers up your game with free games for all. Get up to 14GB for Mobile Legends and Facebook Gaming for 7 days. Simply download the new GigaLife app and choose free games. Also, bigger shoutout sa ating official sponsor, ang Realme Smart phone. For all your smartphone gaming needs, Realme has got you covered with the Realme 6 series with an ultra-smooth display, fast charging, and powerful processors. Biggest shoutouts as well to our official sponsor, ang Gillette. No? Get free diamonds with purchase of Gillette's Mach 3 Razor, Vector 3 Razor, or Blue 3 Simple Force Pack in select Pure Gold doors nationwide. Maraming salamat din syempre sa ating partner in esports. Get 5% balikbayad when you purchase your gaming pins via PayMaya, the better way to pay. Promo runs until September 15. Our partner in esports din ang TikTok Live. And of course, be sure to check out MLBB's channel in TikTok Live. Get a chance to win legendary prizes from ML, our official gaming headset partner. Maraming salamat po sa Logitech G and the whole MPL-PH. Season 6 is powered by none other than Moonthon. So, for this break time, iiwan ko muna kayo sa ating Realme Top 5 Plays of the Series.
Dito lang
sa
at kami
MPL-PH
nagbabalik for more
Season
Mobile
6
Legends actions,
regular
actions,
season.
action dito lang
And
sa
mano
MPL-PH
man,
Season 6.
ang daming nangyari, pero bago ang
regular
lahat,
season, ako si Butters, ang iyong
mano
anchor,
man,
kasama ko ngayon
ang
si
daming
Rockhart, ang
nangyari,
aking
pero
analyst.
bago ang lahat,
What can you
ako
say?
si Butters,
Ano
ang
nga ba
iyong anchor,
nangyayari
kasama
dito?
ko ngayon si
Yeah,
Rockhart,
we're
ang
gonna
aking
be having a
analyst.
pretty good game here
can you
for
say?
NXP versus
Ano nga ba
ONIC
nangyayari
PH.
dito?
Yeah, we're gonna be having a
But
pretty good
before
game
we
here
head
for
on
NXP
to
versus
the good
ONIC
match,
PH.
Tinatawag natin. Bago
Uh,
na sila pangalanan.
But before we head
salamat
on
muna tayo
to
sa
the
ating
good
mga
match,
sponsor.
our official tournament
Bago na
telco
sila
partner
pangalanan.
Smart,
Squad
salamat
up,
muna tayo
rank up,
sa ating mga
keep up
sponsor,
with your
our
favorite
official
your
tournament
favorite
telco
teams
partner
as
Smart,
powers
squad
up
up
your game
rank
with
up,
free
keep up
games
with your
for
favorite
all.
game,
Get
favorite
up to
teams
14
as
gigabyte
Smart
for
Mobile
powers up your
Legends
game
and
with
Facebook
free
Gaming
games
for
7
all.
days.
Get
Simply
up to 14
download the new
gigabyte
Giga
for
Life
Mobile
app
Legends
and
and
choose
Facebook
free
Gaming for
games.
7
Our
days.
official sponsor,
Simply
Realme,
download the new Giga
for
Life
all your
app and
smartphone
choose
gaming
free
needs.
Realme
Games.
has
Our
got you
official
covered
sponsor,
with
the
Realme
Realme 6
for all
series
your
with an
smartphone
ultra
gaming
smooth
needs.
display.
Realme has
Fast
got you covered
charging
with the
and
Realme 6
powerful
series with an
processors.
ultra smooth
Official
display,
sponsor,
fast
Gillette,
charging,
and
get free
powerful
diamonds with purchase of
processors.
Gillette's
Official
Mach 3
sponsor,
Razor,
Gillette,
Vector 3 Razor, or
get
Blue
free
3 Simple
diamonds
for
with
his back,
purchase
and
of
select
Gillette's
your Mach
Gold
3
Doors
Razor, Vector 3
nationwide.
Razor,
That's right.
or
A partner
Blue
in
3 Simple
esports,
for his
PayMaya.
back,
Get
and
5%
select your
balik
Gold
bayad
Doors
when you purchase your
nationwide.
gaming
That's right.
pins
A partner
via
in esports,
PayMaya.
PayMaya.
The better way
Get
to 5%
promo
balik
runs
bayad
until
when you
September
purchase your
15.
gaming pins
Our
via
partner in
PayMaya.
esports,
The
TikTok
better way
Live.
to pay. Search nyo lang din
Promo runs
MLB
until September
on TikTok for a
15.
chance to win
Our
some
partner
awesome
in
prizes
esports, TikTok
from our
Live.
sponsor.
Search
Search nyo
nyo
lang
lang
din
din
MLB
watch the game
on TikTok
live
for a chance to
on
win some
TikTok.
awesome prizes.
Our official
from our
gaming headset
sponsor,
partner,
and of course,
Logitech
watch
G,
the game
here like a
live
pro.
on TikTok.
And we
Our official
have,
gaming headset part.
Munton that is powering this tournament. Everything is made possible by Munton and the sponsors. So maraming salamat sa inyo. Pero eto ang inaabangan ng community. Dream Chasers. It's going to be ONIC PH versus NXP Solid.
Interesting title, Dream Chasers. They are both young, technically young team pa rin naman ng ONIC. They have very young players. And they are obviously both after the big crown. ONIC PH, syempre, laging nasa podium finish tuwing ever since pumasok sila dito sa MPL. Since Season 4, they have been always going to the playoffs and always going for at least minimum top 3. And on the other side naman is the newest team on the MPL, ang Next Play Solid, na talaga namang gusto talagang bigyan ng talo ang lahat ng teams dito sa MPL.
And ito lang yung masasabi ko dito for Dream Chasers. It's ONIC PH kasi they've been chasing that championship ever since and they almost got it twice. Nandun na sila sa platform ng Grand
Dulong-dulo
Finals.
na.
Nasa dulo na sila kasi they cannot convert that into a championship. Almost to Season 4. But Sunsparks,
That's history.
RPH, formerly Sunsparks, they turn things around and lagi silang naka-cut off noon. And is it a curse? I don't think it is because the thing is, yung ONIC PH pa rin naman dito, they're looking solid, hindi pa naman sila nag-fall off. But on the other side, we have the front runners dito, the newest team on the block, yung pinaka nag-iingay sa lahat, kinakalampag nila lahat ng social media natin, it's NXP Solid. Pero bago natin pag-usapan ng NXP, kilalanin muna natin ang side ng ONIC PH.
Kung paano nagsimula yung career
Signal. But with the other match that they had for Bren Esports, they did not really see things through. Nagkaroon ng problema dito yung ONIC PH into converting into that win. And what do you think is the idea or the mindset for ONIC PH sa pagpasok nila dito sa laban na to against NXP Solid?
Well, for their mindset, I think they would consider Brent as one of their rivals talaga. So they will expect to have a hard time with NXP Solid. That might, maybe they think that's not gonna be true. Maybe they think that this is a new week, is a new time for us to get out of our slump, na mawala na, oras na para mawala ang ating sumpa with the first game. That's why everyone is gonna be looking at this game 1, especially these guys. Kasi isa ding malakas sa game 1 yung kalaban nila ngayon. That's NXP. So they're gonna be thinking, okay, our mindset today is to win the first one and maybe get some momentum, and we need to stop people from saying na may game 1 curse tayo.
Game 1 curse is a thing for ONIC PH. Titigilan ba nila yon? Malalaman natin mamaya. Pero NXP Solid rather, kilalanin naman natin sila. We have Chester, MB, H2O, Rene J, Yawi, Gymnast, QR code on the top of Gymnast. Nakikita niyo yung buhok ni Gymnast, pataas yan. Andun yung QR code.
Tama.
Now, NXP Solid, na pag-usapan natin ang matindi dito yung ONIC PH. Now, let's put their focus on them. That game with Blacklist, isa yun sa mga pinakamagandang performances na nakita ko from two teams sa MPL.
And I would say that they actually really did perform out of their minds, diba? That was they're a team na mukhang na super lakas nung simula, then they started having a loose streak. Pero no, yung balik nila, it is very impressive. I have to say that is definitely reflected on the draft itself. Nung time na yon, they were having a fun time having Yawi on the Kufra back here. And it goes to show when you give these guys comfort heroes, especially H2O, they can do wonders with these picks.
We've talked about H2O, MB, Rene J, Yawi. Ang ganda ng mga performance nila. But Chester, nung mga unang games niya dun sa May Lolita, yung mga unang Numinum Blast niya, it doesn't really hit people. It didn't really hit people. Pero eto si Chester, may pagka-clutch yung dating niya nung sa Lolitang yan eh. Nung by the time, yung dalawang huling Numinum Blast niya, those were the best blasts ng game. At nabaliktad niya yung setup na yon
Exactly.
for the side of NXP Solid
And
against Blacklist International. So, is this the trend for Chester? Baka clutch, Mr. Clutch player.
Oo, Mr. Clutch na ba si Kuya Chester? Or
Pwede naman.
will we be able to see
Pero
more
kailangan pa natin makita.
Yes. We are
Kailangan
going
pa
to be
natin
able
makita.
to find out whether or not they can do that. Now, ang tanong dito is, will Chester keep going for these tank supports this time? Dahil sa nakita nating magandang performance niya dun sa Lolita? Or will we have him go back to the usual? Will we finally see a Selena once more for Chester na nakita natin nung unang linggo talagang nakakatakot?
Walang preno-preno, walang pag-underestimate, walang pag-overestimate, pantay-pantay dito sa laban na to. Ibibigay muna natin kay Shinbu for his analysis para dito sa series na to. Shinbu, take it away.
Maraming salamat sa ating mga casters, and I just want to say I feel so excited in analyzing this series between ONIC and NXP. So, let's go. Silipin natin ang kanilang head-to-head stats kaagad, mga kaibigan. This is our star match for the night. And the best part about this one is that we have a very, yes, I would dare say very even stats that you are seeing right now. Again, gaya nga nang sinasabi natin, yung Lord's Lane per game, bihira mo makikita sa gitna yan kasi napaka-erratic niyan mga tol, especially with the numerator on the Lord's Lane per game being so little. And that falls heavily in favor of the NXP squad. No? Medyo dehado sa side na yun yung ONIC PH, and I feel like the .37 to the .16 number is still an outlier naman. But look at the team damage per minute, look at the average game score, and even look at the KDA and average kills per game. Quite even, no? Ang laruan natin, actually I digress, no? KDA average pala falls heavy in favor of NXP. I think the 2.69 is a bit far compared to the 3.14. But you know, para mas madali nyo pong maintindihan yan, tingnan nyo lang kung sino sa bar ang umiilaw. At yan ay lamado ngayon para sa side ng NXP. So, malaking katanungan yan. Actually, there is a trend of slump here for the record of ONIC-PH and NXP. They're recovering. I think 2 consecutive wins yata yung nakuha ng NXP dito. They have their fair share of great series, no? Although those are 2-1s. And also, I want to emphasize pala, no, sa mga fans dito ng NXP, pag ito na 2-0 ng NXP, they will have the playoffs to be secured. Ilapag na natin sa lamesa yan. Now, on to the team head-to-head. Ito ang pulso ng bayan. Facebook support rate goes closer, no, to 50-50, though it is gonna be ONIC-PH that gets the higher vote dito against NXP sa lead, 57.21. I was expecting here, especially with the trend, kung nakasubaybay ka dun sa mga huling laban ng MPL, medyo umu-okay na yung performances ng NXP dito. But I can't help but feel na siguro dahil sa track record ng ONIC-PH being regular podium placers, no, ay kaya naman mas naniniwala ngayon yung mga tao na makakalahok sila. Ang dala season win rate nila sits at, 2/3 and goes 1/3 naman para sa NXP dito. And yan lang naman ang pulso ng masa natin. There is a nice fan base din para sa side ng ONIC-PH. Lalo pa napaka-active din ng kanilang mga players when it comes to TikTok and social media. On to the more critical information, doon na tayo sa player head-to-head, no? Ang ating normal player head-to-head would be onto the side lane, Iaknu and Renny J. I love the running stats. Reflective nung pagka-equal nung mga team head-to-head natin. Ito ang player head-to-head, KDA ni Iaknu at Renny J. Both at sitting at 3.3 and 3.7. I think that's quite close in terms of heroes use. They are quite close pa rin, no? Ang siguro mababanggit ko lang is that Iaknu has more tendency and leaning towards a Balmond pick right now, no? This regular season, much to our questions kaming mga casters, lalo na pag nakita namin yung stats niya. But eto, gusto nyo lagyan nyo pa yan ng something in the middle, Cho. Iaknu kind of shy away on picking up the Cho, allowing for Jay na piliin yan, lalo na rin yung Cho ngayon ay parang, kundi napaka-viable ngayon ulit onto the support position. But Renny J doesn't shy on picking up the likes of Cho, building that into some sort of an assassin-like split push, creep cut playstyle, no? By the late game, and even is really willing to pull up the likes of Hellcurt din pagdating dito sa unique heroes use niya. These two are very explosive players. Even Iaknu, yes, okay na rin siya sa kanyang Balmond, although may limitations yung heroes na yan. And there are a lot to be expected from this truly explosive side laners. Punta tayo ngayon sa ating star player head-to-head at walang iba kundi sa ating mga core. No? Malayang performance dito in terms of KDA para kay Wise kung ikukumpara mo kay H2. Sitting actually at a KDA king right now for this regular season. Kahit sabihin natin na nawala sa kanya yung number 1 spot, he still stays and sticks and is expected to roll out with this good KDAs 7 or higher. And yeah, kita nyo naman, 7.44 against 4.19, no? In terms of unique heroes, no surprise on that part. They've been really just, normal and consistent with their heroes pool. Hindi sila masyadong nag-experiment din, no? I think though yung pang 6 yata dyan, 5-5 sana yan. Yung pang 6 sana dyan is I think of the carry na pinili ni H2 dito on their previous games, which is a well-informed carry pick naman, although fallen out of the meta. I think 5 talaga din yung nasa parang mainstream meta carry picks natin ngayon sa mga hero. Yan. So, MVP count, yes, alam natin, halos magka-equal din. This is an exciting match as well, although I think nakadepende pa rin yung performance nila on how their team will enable them. This is our final series, no? ONIC versus NXP. Let us see the results. Diretso na tayo sa action mismo at ipasa na natin to sa ating mga casters.
Shinbu, maraming salamat. And Dream Chasers, yes. I have to point out na there are things kasi dito for the certain matchup that I really like. The off-lane setup. Yung Iaknu, Dilar versus itong si Renny J and si MB. It's alam mo yun, parang it's two prodigies or sabihin na natin two of the best or sabihin natin na kapagbigay na ng pangalan para sa kanila sa pagdating sa MPL at Grand Finals material, sabihin natin ito si Dilar at si Iaknu. Pero itong dalawang to, Renny J and MB, ang grabe yung ingay sa kanila grabe yung suporta and kung paano nila siniset yung sarili nila into, the early game skirmishes. there is a lot of potential and there is a lot of things na nakikita natin sa kanila na hindi sila takot maging creative in terms of picking those heroes.
That's true. I mean, especially since MB has been namamando siya na maging Khalid madalas. Ngayon. Either that on the Tams. And Renegade, switching most of the time between Cho and Hellcurt as well. It's working very well for this team, no? And sabi nga ni Shinbu din, Cho is going to be a very pivotal pick between these two teams kasi Yakno also plays the Cho. Pero syempre, halatang halata yung pagkakaiba sa playstyle. So, yung mga offlaner talaga ng dalawang teams na to is gonna be very important. Lalo ngayon, going into the draft, they fill different roles. Renegade's Cho is a lot more aggressive, more for the kill, more for the push. And Yakno is more for the utility, helping the team get the picks as a supportive Cho. So, yung bihira ako makita ng Yakno na pinang-carry yung Cho yung super split push, di ba? Mostly taga-sipa talaga yan, mga Ling, mga heroes na kailangan nilang huntingin. And let's go and see if that's gonna be the case here. The usual bans for the meantime with the super tanky offlaners and, of course, the Kufra.
You're seeing ONIC-PH dito giving that ban on the Thams. Ayaw nila nung setup na 2 picks dito for sa side of NXP Solid na may Thams sila tapos may isa pa silang pocket pick na pwedeng kunin. Probably the Khalid and the Thams, that's going to be really annoying. NXP Solid naman dito, tinanggal nila yung Reynos, yung Hilda kasi ayaw nila nung certain strong lane setup on the side lane with the Reynos and yung aggression nga na papakita ng Hilda. Kasi stacks yan eh. Once na maganda yung early game ng Hilda, you would know na magkakaroon kayo ng problema kapag nakuha niya yung level 4 niya. Kasi papalo at papalo yan at hindi titigil yan.
Yep, facts about Hilda. And this is the ban on the Kufra is actually a lesson learned from the game yesterday we saw with NXP and Blacklist. Pag binigay mo, pag hindi mo binan itong Kufra to, napunta kay Yawi, nako po, maghanda ka na para sa isang napakalupit na labanan. Kasi papahirapan kayo ng NXP.
And here comes the pivot.
Ito na nga,
Ito na.
Ito yung pinaka-importanting pick. Inunahan na agad ng ONIC.
And even with the Yuzhong available, ONIC
Oo,
PH,
diba?
kinuha
May
nila
Yuzhong
agad
na open.
Kinuha nila agad dito. Etong show.
Grabe,
Pero
no?
NXP Solid,
May bawi
they secure 2 of the best off-laners, side laners ngayon
Yun naman ang
on their side. Pero
Ano
kasi, it's all about the comfort nga dito na tinatawag for ONIC PH, nakuha nila yung Cho. Hindi pa natin alam yung Cho kasi na to kung gagamitin ni Jay o gagamitin ni Yakno.
Yeah, because Jay has also been playing the Cho as well.
Tank Cho.
Diba? Very interestingly enough for ONIC na okay lang sa kanilang magbigay ng Khalid at ng Yuzhong. Lupit.
Since kumuha na dito yung ONIC PH ng carry, is it safe na kumuha na rin yung NXP Solid ng carry dito? They're gonna go for the lane.
Yeah, para wala ng ban, di ba? Para hindi na pahirapan sa ban mamaya.
Okay.
And very smart move from NXP, I would say.
Aggressive tong setup ng NXP Solid Hindi mo usually nakikita yung 3 picks na to na core na diretso agad. Kumbaga nagiging mixture yan minsan eh. Support, may isang tank, or may support tank tapos may isang core. Pero dito hindi. Lahat ng core nila nilabas agad nila. Na pwede naman kasing tank yung Khalid. Pero right now, with these matchups, parang naka-set up sila as cores. Diba?
Yep, these are gonna be your main damage dealers. Exactly. And now, ang natitirang picks for NXP most likely will need to be a tank, a good tank, and of course, a very high damage output, long range support. So I'm thinking, baka maban either Valier, the Chang'e, and of course, I'm sure about the third one, pero I'm thinking,
Pag-usapan natin yung Alice. Yung Alice talaga dito, this is probably the best pick na magagawa ng ONIC PH for that 2 setup na ginawa dito. Yung 2-pick setup na ginawa dito ng NXP Solid. Khalid, tsaka si Yuzhong, kapag nadikitan sila ng flowing blood, automatic papasok talaga yan si Alice and he will try to use the ulti para ma-whittle down sila. Not enough to kill them but probably just to whittle them down. Kasi yun yung nagiging prowess ng isang Alice eh. Hindi siya yung totally na talagang iti-take down ka. Papababain niya yung buhay mo at guguluhin niya yung teamfight niyo.
Yep. At alam din ng ONIC PH na may hirapan yung Alice mag-regen pag merong back siya, kaya pinana agad nila. Which is, ang nangyari dito, ang resulta is pinahirapan nila lalo yung magiging tank pick ni Yawi. Now, I wonder, what kind of tanks Yawi will pick. Will we go back to
Atlas.
Carmilla? Will we see the Atlas, which is still open? Or will they go... Kasi ang aggressive dito is yung Carmilla. Pero they go for the Hylos instead. That is a very interesting pick for Yawi.
Sa totoo lang, kung yung Hylos nga napunta dito sa side ng ONIC-PH, parang lang kung magkakaroon pa ng problema yung NXP Solid eh. Pero at least nakuha na nila yan. It won't be a problem for them.
It's a good counter.
ONIC-PH naman, they could go for an Atlas kung gugustuhin nila. If they still deem it worthy na piliin dito, they could control the fights. Pwede nilang biglain dito yung side
Or Akai.
Akai is good as well. Kung baga isipin mo, lahat yan papasok eh. So, ibig sabihin, kung pagka meron kang Akai, you can push them back or push them in.
And historically, okay din naman ang Akai ni Jay, di ba? So, I would say that's fine. Now, parang obvious na magiging long-range burst mage talaga ang last pick ng NXP. At instead of all these things, they go, sila ang kumuha ng Chang'e. Interesting.
So, ibig sabihin, tank na nga to. Tank na yung Cho.
Yeah.
And poke mechanic ang gagawin nila dito. Hindi sila magpipilit in terms of facing them head-on. Ito na lang yung isipin natin dito. For NXP Solid, yung ginagawa nilang lineup ngayon, football team. Na kapag ka nakita nila na maglalaban na, susugod na yan.
So good. Oo.
Lahat sila diretso. Ang
Habanggaan.
ONIC-PH, tansyahan. Tansyahan yung laro nila na kapag ka kunyari pumasok bigla si Alice, biglang mag-on yung setup.
Ang kondisyon naman para mangyari yun is going to be, kailangan tanky yung lineup na agad ng NXP. Kailangan maka-farm sila. So it's going to be up to the mid-game rather. And the Lunox pick, inagaw ng ONIC yung dapat na feeling kong magiging pick ng NXP. So they go for the Lunox, which is a very parang last resort pick na lang siya ngayon in terms of support mages, no?
Okay. So, Renegade dito will be using that Lunox. Chester on that support. Khalid. So, ang kailangan mo lang bantayan dito is bakit nag-Lunox dito yung side ng NXP Solid.
Yeah, that's true.
Remember, yung damage output kasi dito, ay yung damage sustain na meron dito yung side ng ONIC-PH. Looking at Alice, looking at Ruby, unti-unti kasi yan eh. As long as nakakagalaw sila, unti-unting umaangat yan. So ano nga ba ginagawa ni Lunox? Yung Lunox, binu-burst down ka in big chunks.
Yep.
So ibig sabihin, kung mauuna si Rene J lagi dito in terms of getting yung kills or yung assist or yung levels niya, scaling and whatever, baka hindi na kaya nung pag-regen mo yung damage output na ibibigay niya.
Basically, bago ka makapag-regen, bawas-bawas ka na agad sa Lunox na yan. And you have to be careful. As we head into Game 1, mga kaibigan, ONIC-PH versus NXP Solid.
Wave clear is good for the side of NXP Solid. Wave clear is good din para sa side ng ONIC-PH. Meron silang Chang'e tsaka Ison Shin. So this is equal in terms of wave clear. Tingnan na lang natin dito kung paano yung magiging rotation. Because a lot of us know that NXP Solid are really creative. Pati din naman ng ONIC-PH creative sila kapag sa paggagawa ng rotation nila.
Yep, and NXP Solid are going to have a great time to sustain. They will have a... Pag ganitong lineup mo kasi, Tol, sobrang tanky, di ba? Kaya mong gumawa ng mga invade tulad ng ginagawa nila ngayon. Tama mo, look at where NXP Solid is. Kaya nilang mamain yung mga picks na ganito. Especially the Ruby, which is sa early game, wala pang ultimate, hindi ba siya nakakatakot?
Nakita mo kung paano sila naghiwalay doon. Sila Chester, pumunta agad sila doon sa may orange ng kalaban para kahit papano hindi maagaw sa kanila. And that is going to be extra monsters to take down for NXP Solid.
Napakaaga.
Para naman sa side ng ONIC-PH, hindi na nila hahabulin yung idea na maniningil kami dahil kinuha nyo yung orange buff namin. Alam na nila na wala yun doon at ang gagawin na lang nila dito
Panigurado,
is
no?
magpo-focus na lang sila doon sa mga bagay na kaya nila kunin. Kasi naagaw na naman eh.
It's very important to know na objective pa rin. Kahit na ganyan yung lineup nyo, you need to keep your eyes on objectives like this. And I would say na mas magkakaroon ng priority ang NXP ngayon. Dahil dito, no? Itong priority na sinasabi natin dito, especially on the buffs. It's very important. And H2O needs all of these. He needs to catch up in terms of the buffs kasi hindi pa clear yung orange. Bakit? Dahil they're saving it para dun sa turtle. Ayan na yung turtle in 50 seconds. That's why ngayon pa lang nila kinuha yung orange.
So meron silang fighting potential pagdating ng first minute ng game. Tapos ngayon naman, meron uli silang fighting potential dahil sinave nila yung kanilang orange
Ayan na
buff.
nga, diba?
And eto, pinasok
Diba?
ko sila ni Renny J.
Yun
And
eh.
si Jay dito versus Renny J. Oh, my Venus dito. Look at that positioning. Ang ganda ng ginawa dito ni Ma'am Shoes. Pero kakayanin ba nilang i-secure yung kill dito kay Renny J? Hindi nila makukuha. And wow.
So yun na yun.
Oh, yun na yun.
Yun na yung sinasabi mo kanina, Butters, yung silbi ng Lunox for a target na nag-regen tulad ni Alice. Right? You kill the target right away bago pa niya magamit yung ultimate niya, bago pa siya makahigop ng HP. At kita mo naman yung nangyari. He was not able to recover. Yaknu just got back here. And NXP Solid are ahead in gold.
Maganda yung pinapakitang simula dito ng NXP Solid. Pero ONIC-PH, in terms of adjusting, kailangan din bantayan sila ng NXP Solid.
Tama,
As we
tama.
all know, they are really good in adjusting on the fly. Yun
Whoa!
yung isa sa mga strengths ng
Chester.
ONIC-PH na hindi mo matatanggal sa kanila. Ngayon, si Wise, kung nakuha niya tong orange
Dilar!
buff, look at Dilar with the pull, and here comes the meteor shower. At eto na si MB, lumilipad na siya, the dragon is here, pumasok siya dito sa apat, MB with the flicker, Jay going in, he will get
Oh
the kill.
my God.
Knock up on Yawi. Iyaknu, papasok pa ba siya? Okay.
Di na yata.
Tapos
Di na yata.
Tapos na.
Okay na, okay na, okay na.
Tapos na. Kala
Okay na.
ko
Chill,
mag-aaway pa eh.
Awat, awat.
Hindi kasi paminsan, dala ng bugso ng damdamin eh. May pumapasok pa eh.
Pumapasok yun. And for the meantime, that's fine. Here we go, Renny J once more with Chaos. So beautifully done there for NXP. Again, once more, admiring the control na pinapakita naman ng ONIC-PH dito sa mid lane at sa mid game.
May laging call dito. Napapansin ko lang sa lahat ng mga games na nakikita ko from NXP Solid, may call dito si Renny J and si Yawi na lagi silang, si Renny J at si H2O, na nagkasama sila doon sa isang side ng
At a
mapa.
specific point, no?
Tapos, at a specific point, ang ginagawa nila, tinitake down nila yung katapat ni Renny J. Dinadaan nila sa brusco, dinadaan nila sa damage.
Kasi mag-isa, di ba?
Kasi mag-isa.
That always happens. And that's actually something na napansin ko din, where if you are laning against Renny J or H2, parang you have to watch out kasi they're always near each other. Di ba?
Ang ONIC naman, tatandaan natin na sinabi na natin to eh. Pag si Basic ang naglalaro, aggressive. Kapag kasi Wise ang naglalaro, passive pero slowly getting their approach.
Gold ang focus.
Kapag ka nakapag-farm si Wise, doon kayo matakot. Kasi ganun maglaro talaga si Wise. Kumbaga slow but steady.
Tama. And of course, Wise is not gonna be the case here. For the meantime, si Jay naman ang target ng NXP at 5 minutes in the game. 19 seconds on the turtle. They really want that setup. Yaknu though facing the wrath of MB. And will be able to get out of there. And that is again the power of the Alice. Ang problema though, si Yaknu is medyo nahihirapan na ding mag-survive sa lane niya.
Yun yung kailangan bantayan ng ONIC-PH dito, yung pag-overextend. Hindi nila afford magbigay ngayon ng kills. Because they know na si Wise lang talaga yung hinaantay nila dito. Wise is going to be the instrument para sila ay makalamang mamaya kapag ka nag-mid-game spike na siya. Si Venus naman dito, tamang sending stars lang.
Sending
O
stars.
yan send 1 million stars.
Send 1 million stars at masakit
Ganun lang.
yun. Magpapanik ka pag nasendan ka ng ganong kadaming stars, di ba?
And ito okay, good move from ONIC. Ginawa nila, sila yung pumesto dito, pero this is going to be the link. And ang bilis ng pag-takedown nila. Ang ganda na ginawa doon ng ONIC-PH. Ang sabi nila, sige, i-take natin yung turtle, meron tayong retribution, and wala si H2O sa paningin natin. So, ang gawin natin, mabilis naman tayo eh. Unahan natin sila.
That's right. And they have been doing that over and over again because of their raw damage output sa early game, di ba? I wonder if they can keep doing that kasi ngayon, feeling ko naman, like what we've been talking about since for the longest time, ito sa H2O, napaka-stable niyan kumuha ng gold. Like Andy, pasok niyan. Kahit nalulugi ang NXP, expect mo si H2 may gamit. And yun naman yung strength ng hero to. Will that be a problem for ONIC later? Let's find out.
Yawi ang napili dito. Yawi ang napili at si Yawi ang tutumba. Yaknu holding on to his lane. Ito yung isa sa ito yung isa sa mga pinaka-importanting bagay as a side lane. Mahawakan mo yung turret mo.
Tama.
Doon sa may baba, yes, sabihin na natin, nagkaroon na ng problema dito si Dilar, nabigay niya na yung side niya. Pero at least hindi pa gaanong nakikita yung epekto nun dito para sa side ng NXP Solid. Kasi hindi naman talaga sila totally pumapasok doon para magnakaw ng Ayun, yung mga green monsters,
Aha.
nandyan. Yung buff, makikita mo sila doon once or twice. Pero kasi Ling yan eh.
Yeah.
Kaya niyan mag-in and out sa jungle nang hindi napapansin.
And ang panghuli nila dito is si Jay, which cannot always be, hindi naman pwedeng naka-permanent link duty lang siya. Ang
Oo.
daming threats dito sa NXP. Kaya medyo nahihirapan din si Jay na mag-prioritize kay H2O. Hindi niya kayang babantayan magdamagan kasi syempre, the rest of NXP also need to be taken care of.
And Halberd is there para kay MB. Wala na tayo masyadong makikitang healing shenanigans dito.
Nahihirapan
para kay
na,
Yakyu, para kay Dilar. I mean, makikita pa rin natin pero not as effective. Si Rene J ang target nila dito. And the Order of Brilliance, hindi nila mahuhuli si Rene J. Nandun yung knock-up sana kay J. Pero alam mo, sabi ni Rene J doon, kulang. Alam ko yung timing.
Yep. And that's
Oy,
not
si
gonna
H2.
be... Oy, H2! Di ka niya makuha. Wise will secure that turtle buff.
Oh,
Oh
Jay!
my God! It's a big fight!
Yawi dito going down. Chester dito yung magiging next na target. Wise going in. Rene J dito. Ano magagawa
Wise!
niya? And look at Rene J taking down Wise. Pero will it be enough? Tatlo pa ang kalaban niya dito. And Rene J taking
Rene
down
J!
2. Pero ONIC PH, they get the wipeout.
Wow, beautifully done. And I would say, Rene J, munti ka nang makadali ng madami pa, pero hindi sapat ang regeneration ng Lunox niya para makasurvive doon. Good job for ONIC PH for keeping that going for a long time. Kita mo dito, hindi nila ininda yung mga Sea Halberd at kung ano pa dito sa big fight na to.
Ay kung mapapansin mo dito kung paano nila tinake yung fight na yon, si Jay, isang sipa lang ang kailangan. Nakita mo si Wise, sobrang aggressive niya na Order of Chaos Darkening rather. Ginamit yun kay Wise. And si Wise, kapag nandun talaga siya sa area na yun, walang takasan.
Walang takasan. And
Sa isang Lunox.
that's true. It's very difficult to do that all the time. Especially right now, walang alam mo yung hindi siya may iwasan na skill. Homing yung mga hits ni Lunox eh. Walang takas talaga. Kahit mag-dash out ka palayo.
Alam mo yung pakaramdam yung mga malalaking holin, tapos hinuholin-holin ka naman.
Oo. Pero homing.
Homing yung holin.
Homing eh. Yung holin, masakit.
Homing yung holin, masakit
Kahit,
yun.
kahit mag-tumbling-tumbling ka dyan, hindi yung maiwasan.
Hindi mo maiwasan yung holin. Yan nga holin eh.
Yun. Pero good job ONIC and ONIC PH, they knew when to fight at kinuha nila yung oportunidad na hindi nakaposisyon yung NXP in the way that they want.
Okay, si May Venus dito, tingnan mo yung ginagawa niya kay MB. Sinisisoning lang niya.
Magic sarap.
Sinisisoning lang niya kahit paano. Alam mo yun, kumbaga, dagdag
Dagdag
spice
lasa.
ng buhay.
Oo,
Dagdag spice
lasa.
ng buhay.
Yes.
Dagdag lasa.
More spice, more more thrills.
Okay,
diba?
so napapansin mo na dito, Rockart, di ba? Nakapwesto na sila dito sa may bottom side kasi yung Lord pa-up na.
Yep.
Sabi-sabihin both teams dito, they're giving a lot of
Uy,
importance para sa Lord. And that is the buff. Chester dito going in, stun is there, Dilar dito, makakahatak ba siya?
Oh my God!
Palapit sa ONIC! And that is going to be MB taking down Jay. Pero sabi ni Alice dito, pa-region lang, bes. Okay lang ba?
Yep.
Oh
Okay,
my goodness.
that was the setup that ONIC wanted. Yun yung nasa isip mo tuwing magpipick ka ng isang Ruby. Yung hila sabay blink papunta sa kampi mo. And it happened. I think, bihira mangyari yun sa atin, in fairness.
Actually, for NXP Solid, naglakad sila papasok dun eh.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Pinuwesto nila yung sarili nila na mahuhuli sila noon. And si Dilar talagang mag-unload yan. Talagang pipilitin ni Dilar makuha yung hatak na yon.
Yep.
And that was the perfect timing. Sinamahan niya pa ng flicker. It's super effective.
It's super effective. Again, medyo mahirap din as NXP to read these plays kasi nasa bush lang yung ONIC eh. I don't know if we're gonna get a replay of that, but definitely we will see that non-stop pa rin ng ONIC to provide pressure. The Lord is still gonna be the target here para sa ONIC. And NXP, they're trying to defend as long as possible. Sabi nila, clear lang tayo ng clear. Again, we do scale better.
At eto si Yawi ang nabigyan. Lures pathway is used. MB dito going for Oh My Venus. Yun lang yung gusto niya talaga kay Venus. Matanggal yung armor, yung shield ni Venus. Kasi pagka natanggal niya yung shield ni Venus, mabagal yung damage output niya. Tumumba na dito si Yawi. Chester will be the next one. Matutumba din siya, pero Rene J ang hinatak na naman dito ni Dilar. Order of Brilliance nandyan, pero the damage, is it enough? Yes, it will be. Nandun sa may likod si H2O just blocking out the creeps. It's what Link players do talaga to, alam mo yon, magkaroon lang ng onting lamang or space para dito sa kanyang team. NXP Solid, ginagawa nila lahat dito para makabawi, but still, ONIC PH, hindi nila hinahayaan yun.
That's true. And sobrang decisive ng ONIC PH, taking the team fights that they know they can take. Ayan na. Nakuha nila yung objectives that they want, pero at the same time, yung sinabi natin tungkol kay H2O, kahit na nabe-behind ang NXP Solid, he will still be able to get gold around the map with the picks that he gets. So, hindi pa naman tapos, although it's a really big gold lead here, 9,000 para sa ONIC PH sa puntong 12 and a half minutes.
Dilar, tumatambay siya dito, and this is not a really good place to be in right now.
Yep, medyo, subukan yung tumalan
And
sa wall.
medyo talagang ipit na ipit talaga siya dito. So, ang daming beses sinubukan tumalon sa
Papader,
wall.
ilang beses yun,
Ang
bilangin
dami yung
natin.
pader. Ang dami yung
Ang
pader.
kapal ng pader, men.
Alam mo,
Kapal ng pader.
alam mo itong series na to, masasabi ko lang dito. Pwede mo malaman kung sa ano to sa TikTok. After nito, kunyari, may nanalo na dito, di ba? Kung sino man manalo sa kanila, okay lang naman sa atin kahit anong mangyari.
Siyempre.
Pagka tapos nito, rematch na nito, one time lang kasi to, so TikTok na yung next,
TikTok
tsaka
na yung
playoffs.
next.
Pero
Oo.
mauuna yung TikTok kasi matagal pa yung playoffs. Pero dito, si Yakno, pumasok na siya, and that is going to be the blood off. Tingnan natin kung magagamit niya uli yung blood ode mamaya-maya. The Lord is there, pinapalo-palo si H2O, Jay going in, pero the dash out from H2O, timely to get away from Jay.
And
It
no
runs.
minions. Yes, no minions.
Nandun
on the
ganun
mid
na
lane.
naman!
Oy, ito
Ganun na naman!
The moves like Jaeger. Ayan na si Jay. Gumagalaw na naman, and it's going to be a wipeout for NXP. ONIC PH clean out the towers, they clean out the minions, and they will go for the finish.
And ONIC, PH, weathering the storm nung early game. Tanggal na ang first game curse.
Tanggal na ang
NXP
first
Solid.
game curse.
Mag-uusap-usap sila ngayon.
Usap
What
tayo,
are the
oo.
adjustments na pwede nilang gawin? Nahawakan nila yung early game eh. Ang lakas nung draft nila, yung setup nila. Khalid, Yuzhong, even yung Lunox made a lot of sense.
It did. Ang ganda actually yung Lunox
Ang
pick.
ganda ng Lunox pick kasi
Oo.
nakikita natin si Renegade sa mga pwesto na talagang sa gitna nung torre siya,
Yup.
sa gitna ng first and second turret siya pumipwesto, and he really got a lot of kills because of that set or that play. Pero alam mo, ang dami pang pwedeng mangyari dito sa game number 2. I just feel that ONIC PH, meron pa silang isang plano dito na tinatago nila para talaga matapos yung 2-0. Pero alam mo sila YOLO, alam mo si Rio dito sa kabila, I'm sure he's very capable of teaching yung mga players niya to how to draft and properly pattern themselves for the victory ng game number 2. Pero sila YOLO, hindi rin naman magpapatalo.
Yep, exactly. And I think we will definitely see a lot more coming from them. I expect some great things from the next draft here against ONIC PH versus
And,
NXP.
We are also expecting Shinbu to, actually catch na etong segment na to with this segment. So Shinbu, what is your analysis?
Ladies and gentlemen, what a series. Rather, game 1 ng series natin between NXP and ONIC PH. Maraming salamat syempre sa mga casters natin and mga cam dito sa ating solo analyst segment. No? Let's go into the post-game kaagad ng ating laban because we have an interesting drafting sequence na nangyari dito. No? With the show priority na ginawa ng ONIC doon, mga tol, is nag-secure kaagad syempre ng Khalid and Yuzhong yung NXP. Totally understandable. Actually, these are solid picks kaagad, no? But, a very basic answer din mula sa side ng ONIC PH, which is of the Alice plus the YSS, no? And of course, with the Alice being locked in, there's a second set of bander. Inalis na lang nila yung backsha, removing that for a side lane opportunity and even a pickup para kay Yawi. Yawi has been stepping up his game recently. Maybe on the Kufra, not so much on the backsha, but still stepping up, no? So, hindi na yung nabigyan ng chance para makuha kay Yawi. Yawi was relegated into choosing a high loss here for the second to the last pick ng NXP, no? But much to our surprise, the MVP here, which I think did work, ang ganda ng element and plano dito ng NXP would be of that Lunox, no? Of that Lunox. Now, let's look into the post-game. Bakit, no? Napaka-impactful nung Lunox ni Rene J. This is actually a very high engage comp, no? You got the Cho, you have the Ruby, very durable, and you also have the Alice, no? Heroes na can pass through a very, defensive front line, like in the form of this Yuzong and also Khalid. Except that instead of tankiness, no, instead of durabilities, they're dueling gods. Napaka-solid nito, no? So ang ginagawa lang nila iyak no dyan, they want to sustain, sinagot din yung Ruby. I cannot but feel that members dito ng ONIC-PH was able to answer properly yung security kaagad doon sa Yuzong at Khalid. At napapansin ko rin ating mga manonood na hindi na ganun masyadong binaban yung Yuzong. Yung mga teams natin parang hinahayaan na lang yung Yuzong. And their expected playmaker, no, sa side ng ONIC po ay si Jay on that show, no? And what Rene J did, he countered Jay. Rene J makes sure na even though this kind of slow-moving composition mula sa NXP, pagdating sa mga laban, kumpara kasi sa Kufra, no, mas mabilis syempre yung initiates ng NXP kung Kufra yan, is Rene J always follows up na lang, 'di ba? On that playmaking attempt ni Jay dito. Actually, if you move into the smart highlights of the game, we have a sizable amount of highlight here, no, kung saan NXP was able to get invasion. There is a classic cut mula kay Rene J, no, mula ka agad doon sa side, and that is a very heavy punishment din para kay Jay dito, no. So hindi ko harangan yan. Yan, Rene J has been racking up good amount of kills for this part. Now, this is where the new hero of the ONIC side shines through, and that is of Dilar. Napaka-disruptive ni Dilar dito. And ngayon lang ulit tayo nakakita ng Ruby na hindi lang naman dueling capacity si Ruby eh. May ult yan na napakalaki, diba? You can actually see how he used his flicker, no? How he uses flicker, and of course, combine it with his ultimate so that he can easily catch yung backline mismo dito and totally disrupt the formation ng NXP. And doon na lang nag-encash din yung mga membro ng ONIC-PH. Hindi pa yan mga tol. Actually, marami pang mga sumunod na mga play dyan. I think we had one for the blue buff. Yes, there is one. And I want to emphasize this. I think this is where H2 was not easily allowed to join the party. No? These are 4v5 fights. Iyakno was totally online, and by that time, nabili niya na yung kanyang Winter Truncheon, which is totally okay, totally good. Napaka-timely for that fight. I just want to emphasize then na may play doon si Jay. Hindi niya basta pinayagan na makalapit din si H2 when H2 decides to join the fight doon sa may purple buff. Ready to actually Shunpo. Jeet Kune Do, no? Wala nang ult si Jay noon sa totoo lang, pero nanigurado na lang din si H2 na hindi basta-basta lumapit and make sure na hindi siya masipa ni Jay. Kasi H2 is always about consistency, no? You don't expect H2 to be the additional kill for your team once everything goes south for NXP. And with that, someone was able to cash in properly. It is gonna be of Wise here, 78,800 na damage dealt against the opponents, you know. Here's the combination, no? You got the Ruby, and you got the sight for that. You got the sight, no, for that part. Sight combo, and of course, binagsakan ng napakalaking ultimate ni YSS, no? So you got the Ruby combination and YSS, in which, ang ganda eh, kasi yung Mountain Shocker, eh, tabi-tabi pa talaga pag bumagsak. And yeah, I think very commendable performance din as well, no? Parang meron tayong MVP dito in terms of numbers, but we also have that playmaking or actual game na MVP, and I would give that to Dilar. I'm actually glad na after the series of slump, I find na isa sa mga kind of weak lane ngayon ng ONIC I see Dilar because of the continuous Uranus ban for him. Teams has the tendency of actually targeting the lane of Dilar there after banning the Uranus, and now he has find home on that Ruby. Now, these are the codes that you will find here sa ating broadcast. So, kunin nyo na yan mga tol. That is our giveaway code. And of course, we also have our bonus giveaway code then, ladies and gentlemen, especially of you guys helping us reach our target 10,000 entries na milestone para syempre sa ating mythical raffle draw. So, salamat sa tangkilik, salamat sa pagsali mga tol, and pwede pang sumali yung hindi pa, no? bit.ly/MRD-W6, that is the link patungo sa form ng ating mythical raffle draw, and fill upan nyo na yan. If na-fill upan nyo ang 5 sa ganyang form, then you are qualified for our grand and ultimate mythical raffle draw, kung saan hindi lang basta skins ang ipamimigay natin, kundi magandang bigayan pa dito sa MPL. That is a very interesting series, especially of the approach of NXP doon sa pick kay Rene J, no? But I think these two teams come in really into this game prepared and ready with their homework. And I think, you know, a good answer here is seeing this game number 2. How will it all pan out? I hope this adjusts and we actually see a game number 3 rin naman para sulit. Kung naging sulit ang ating Sunday morning, maging sulit din ang ating Sunday night. So, I will give it back to our casters. Kayo naman.
Huwag na natin dagdagaan ang Sunday morning natin, ladies and gentlemen.
Kulang pa ba?
Kulang pa ba?
Kulang pa ba, Shin?
Kulang pa ba? Pero kidding aside, gamers are gamers are gamers.
Gamers are gamers.
Respect. Yun na lang yung
All
maiwan ko.
gamers
Ayoko
are
na pag-usapan, basta yun na lang sa akin.
Yun lang.
Gamers are gamers. And kahit anong game
Kahit
pa nilalaro
Beyblade
nyo,
pa yan.
Kahit Beyblade pa yan,
Oo.
naglalaro kayo. Opinion,
Gamer pa rin
may
yan.
mga opinion pero respeto lang talaga. Respeto lang. Anyway,
Isa pa.
Yan. Going back to that. So, hindi, ako babalik ko. Yan. Going back to the series right now, Dream Chasers. ONIC PH dito, that was surprisingly seamless na pag-transition to the mid-game. Yun yung pinaka nangyari doon na biglang sumabog yung ONIC PH ng mid-game. Kasi early game talaga, hawak ng NXP.
50-50 actually. Yung
50-50.
NXP sobrang gigil at certain points and Rene J popping off. Like nakakabilib yung placement ni Rene J on the Lunox. Hindi yung normal na Lunox na setup yung tank, tas okay, tsaka papasok. Siya yung pumapasok mismo eh. 'Di ba? So it was impressive, especially in the mid-game. Pero nung, like you said, there is a switch that turned on para dito sa ONIC.
Yung yung sipa ni Jay. Yung nasipa ni Jay Siling,
Yung Pectus na naman.
yung Pectus.
Yung Pectus.
Yung kasi
Pectus na
nakita
naman
niya
eh.
si H2O. Syempre, yun naman talaga kasi yung trabaho
Yun
ng
talaga
Joe.
eh,
Pag nakita
taga-Pectus.
niya yung link, ipipectus niya palapit dun sa kampe niya.
And the thing is, yung target pa niya. Yung tama pa yung target na nakuha niya. And that's impressive, I think, for Jay, especially, yung lumalabas yung pagka-veterano talaga ng tao.
Tapos, ito pa yung nangyari. Since napectus paloob si H2O, so ang nangyari sa NXP Solid, lumapit sila. And
Kailangan eh.
Doon kasi nag-shine si Venus tsaka si Wise. Doon sa mga areas na maliliit. Kasi Mountain Shocker, Meteor Shower,
Yeah.
yun yung puhunan nila. So doon sa maliit na area na yon, lahat sila nagkumpul-kumpul doon. Lahat ng skills dito ng side ng ONIC PH nag-connect. So after that win, kahit sabihin naman natin nagkaroon talaga ng problema dito yung hindi rin talaga nabuhay yung karamihan dito sa side ng ONIC dahil nga close yung laban na yon. Nagkaroon ng pag-break ng tower sa turret sa may mid and na-set up nung dalawang nung Ruby at saka nung Alice yung gilid, yung side lanes na laging nakapush papunta dito sa NXP Solid. So it was a change in tempo, a shift in map control, and that is going to be very important for this coming game. Kung nakita nyo, dahil lang dun sa isang sipa na yon, everything changed and na-activate yung apat dito ni Jay. Yung apat niyang teammates, it can happen again. But for the side of NXP Solid, it can happen also para kay Layawi, given na makuha nila yung mga heroes na gusto nila dito.
At yun naman, I think yun naman naging target ngayon ng ONIC PH to stop Yawi on the Kufra agad-agad. Laging first ban. Which is, if I was Yawi, that's good. That's a good feeling, right? But at the same time, you can't play the hero that you're very much known for. It's nagiging problem siya minsan. Pero I still think that they have so many tank picks available to them, no? So this is going to be, I don't think it's not that big of a deal, pero it would have been better if he got that Kufra. Now, ang tanong, no more Cho means that Jay is going to be forced on a different pick, obviously. Does that bode well? Kasi sayang din kung nawawala yung Cho sa NXP.
So, ito, for both teams naman, they are capable of using the Cho.
Yes.
Kaso
For sure.
kasi, syempre, iisipin mo rin naman kung ikaw yung NXP Solid na iiwan ng ONIC PH yung isang hero dito or tatlong hero dito na sobrang ganda for the meta. So, sabihin natin, Yuzhong is still available.
Tama.
Farsa is still available.
Nadami silang binibigay.
Khalid, andyan pa. So, ibig sabihin, kung binigay ko yung Cho na yan, may kasama siyang kapartner na malakas din sa meta.
Totoo yan.
Dahil nagban ng thumbs dito yung ONIC PH at napunta yung isang ban kay Kufra pa.
Yeah.
So,
Last game kasi,
nakuha na.
first pick eh.
First
Last
pick.
game.
So, ito, available yung Yuzhong dito for NXP Solid. Makakalusot na sana yung Selena ulit pero they decided to just ban it out.
Munti ka na naman.
Iba
no?
yung impact lagi ng Selena.
Akala ko din third ban eh, no?
Iba yung impact ng Selena. Although, we did see Selena kanina na hindi nag-work out for their side. Pero, andun pa rin talaga yung pag-iingat ng mga teams kapag may Selena yung opposing team.
Totoo yan.
Hmm.
So, they removed that right away. And, of course, ang kapalit naman nun is NXP Solid. Nakuha nila ang Hyujong. Now, will they go for a secure on the Farsa this time around? Yun ang tanong.
Yisun Shin and Farsa.
Okay, so todo comfort picks to.
Oo, todo
Todo comfort
picks
picks to for NXP ah. Parang natutuwa din si Coach Yolo dito. Tingin ko.
Nakuha ng masayang-masaya talaga sila.
Masaya.
Nakuha nila yung tatlong hero na most contested dito sa side nila for their first 3 picks. But for ONIC-PH, may napapansin ka ba sa trend na ginagawa ng ONIC-PH dito sa pag-pick nila?
Yeah, they're giving away a lot. And they're focusing on getting wise on the comfort hero as well.
Tsaka pansinin mo lahat ng ultimate na itong tatlo. Pabilog.
Pabilog.
Hindi, sa
Yun talaga,
sa totoo lang.
yun ba talaga gusto mo?
Hindi kasi
Yun ang
ito
unang
yan.
napapansin, pabilog.
Ito yan. Pre. Ito kasi yan. Kung bakit yung sinasabing pabilog.
Oo, sige.
Kailangan mo kasi isipin dito yung pwesto ni H2O. Kunyari, sabihin natin, Yisun Shin ka. Di ba, syempre, kapag gagamitin mong pantakas yung dash mo, isa lang yun kasi hindi mo ma-refresh.
Totoo.
So, ibig sabihin, kapag ka may mga pabilog-pabilog na yan, hindi ka makaalis dyan dahil lang sa isang dash na yun, may malaking chance na mabaliktad ka ng mga skills dito sa side ng ONIC-PH.
So you're thinking, yung lineup ng ONIC-PH mostly panghuli?
Not exactly. Pero in terms of team fight, I would just put it in a way na kailangan sobrang mag-ingat ni H2.
I see.
Diba?
That makes sense. Yeah. Of course, H2O is known as a guy that can play under pressure. Kahit i-pressure mo yan, he does play
Tsaka
very well.
kaya nila abutin lahat si Farsa.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Diba?
These are 3 picks that have a strong mobility. Yung obviously Alice can reach that, pero a well-timed Khalid ultimate can also catch a Farsa na nakatayo lang while using the feathered airstrike.
So, eto for NXP Solid dito for the first 3 picks, they got the most sought after picks, most contested para dito sa MPL. For ONIC-PH naman, yung Khalid, Alice, and Ling, they have innate capability to reach whoever is in the backline. So, hindi na nila kailangan masyado mag-adjust on that department. Ang iniisip ko na lang talaga dito is kung papaano nila, kung sino yung mga magiging supporting cast nila dito. Kasi syempre, pwede din naman yung Khalid yung tank. Nakita naman natin to.
You've seen that before. Yep.
Pero yung support dito is hindi pa alam for the side of ONIC-PH.
Yep. And ONIC-PH naman, isa din sa mga team na pinaka-flexible yung support pick. Because of, again, just the massive hero pool of my Venus. Now, good respect from ONIC-PH to ban out the Hellcrit as well. It's one of those picks na I'm actually surprised kasi that means na may medyo vulnerable silang pinoprotektahan sa likod. Sino kaya yun? Diba? Sounds like a Sicilian for me. I don't know. ONIC Sicilian? Question mark?
Pwede. Kasi
no?
kapag ganito yung setup ng ONIC na last priority yung pick ni Venus, Sicilian to usually.
The thing is, if we can predict that, I'm pretty sure NXP can predict that. So what is going to be the counter pick? Let's see here on this last pick phase for NXP.
Alam mo, yung mga ganong yung mga ganong heroes kasi, for kunyari yung mga Sicilian, yung mga control mages, parang sagot na ni Yuzhong. Kaya kasing
Maabot, kaya
niya man-dragon dun sa likod eh.
Yep. And here we go. Looking forward to this.
2 picks for their
picks.
side.
So,
NXP
one
Solid, what are you gonna go for? Atlas still
pa ba?
available.
Akai ba? Mag-aakay ba sila? I don't think they do.
Johed.
Johed's a good pick.
Johed Akai.
Johed. Akai nga! Wow!
Johed Akai.
Akala ko hindi. Pero it's gonna be an Akai. This is gonna be the first Akai for them. Probably. Check natin yung stats mamaya.
I'm checking it right now.
It looks like it's gonna be a first Akai for Yawi. I haven't seen Yawi Akai yet. Probably. So,
Hindi pa.
Hindi pa.
Hindi
nga.
pa.
Okay,
Hindi pa sila
so
nag-Akai.
magiging interesante to para sa NXP. At yung last pick naman ng ONIC-PH, long range ballistics, long range damage mage.
I mean, hindi pa natin alam kung yun talaga. Pero Rafaela.
Support! Sustain ang gusto, ayaw ng bawas.
Sustain ang gusto. Yun yung sinabi ni Coach.
Sabi ni Coach.
Daanin natin sa bilis.
Sa bilis. Para makaiwas kayo sa sa Hurricane Nuns, eto papabilisin ko kayo. Ganun ba yun?
It is true.
Interesting, no? Interesting.
There is a... Etong picks na to coming out from both teams. I like yung factor ng Johed. for the side of NXP Solid. Pero kasi pagka gusto mo yung Jawhead sa side ng NXP Solid, kailangan magustuhan mo din yung ginagawa nung Rafaela dun sa side ng ng ONIC PH. Kasi ang magiging dating dito, maghahabulan sila eh.
Unlihabulan to talaga.
Oo,
mamaya.
mag-unlihabulan sila dito.
Mag-ejector si Jawhead tapos kailangan dumistansya agad ni Venus or else. Medyo malambot na target yung Rafaela. Ingat.
So, a lot of things to consider. Yawi dito on the Akai. This is the first time that we're gonna see it. And, alam mo, ako natatakot ako for Chester dito, especially in the Farsa.
Bakit
Kasi,
naman?
ang dali niyang abutin. Yung factor nga na sinabi natin
Yung
kanina,
tatlo, yung first
yung Khalid
3 picks,
Alice Lane, panghabol na. Tapos meron ka pang Rafaela. So, ibig sabihin, yung movement speed nila, yung mobility nila, dinagdagan mo pa ng onting push kasi nga may Rafaela kayo.
That's a very good point, but so let's see if that's gonna be a factor. Tingnan natin kung matitinag ba si Chester ng mga dive ng ONIC PH as we head into Game 2, NXP Solid versus ONIC PH.
Pipilitin ba nila mag-invade dito? Kasi
Tingin ko hindi dapat.
tatlo eh. Kasi Akai, tapos Jawhead, tapos nandito. Well, si Jay papasok. Yun yung ginagawa ni Jay dito. Tignan mo, kinukulit niya lang si MB and he will use that flicker. Almost, not really stealing yung buff, pero kasi na-take down niya yung buhay ni MB.
Yeah, I think that's the point. If you want to make Yaknu's laning better, kailangan mo tumulong sa bawas. And nakatulong naman kahit paano. Ngayon, pangungulit lang talaga ang ginagawa ng ONIC PH. They don't have the ability to go for the full invade. So right now, they will just try to get their own.
Nakuha ba yung Nakuha ni Chester yung Little Wanderer?
That's a big deal. I mean, it's only 1 minion, but malaking bagay yon sa laban na to.
Tatandaan nyo, tinank nila dito yung buff. So, ibig sabihin, bawas-bawas sila dito in terms of mana, gumamit sila, pero yung Little Wanderer na yan yung nag-equalize ng lahat ng bagay dito for the side of NXP. Tama yung idea dito ng ONIC PH na kailangan natin kunin yan para magkaroon ng pressure sa side ng NXP Solid at kailangan nila umuwi. Pero ang ginawa naman dito ni Chester, pinlame shot niya.
Tama. And that is going to be a big question mark here. They will be able to do something here. Oh! Flicker forced out of Yaknu or else kasi may ejector talaga siya patalikod. And you don't want that to happen. Right now si Jay magiging bodyguard dito sa bot lane. May ejector pa rin na magiging available. Mukhang mapapabawas siya ng malupit. Walang quicksand guard pag ikay pinatalsik ng flame shot na naman. Chester, right on the cooldown, uses it against Jay. It's super effective.
Okay. H2O, nakuha niya na yung crab coin dito. At tingnan natin kung paano sasagot tong ONIC PH. Wise on the Ling. Nakakaikot naman siya. He's not really getting the kills right now. Pero kasi ito yung positive scaling factor ng Ling. Na kahit sabihin mong hindi siya hindi siya nakakuha ng kills, as long as tuloy-tuloy yung farm niya, kaya naman talagang, kaya niya i-convert mamaya talaga yung damage output niya and mobility niya into kills. Translation lang yan eh.
Yep, that's gonna be it. That's at the end of the day, it's all about whether or not may utilize mo pa rin yung kit mo, right? Utilization and magagamit ba to get gold and to get some objectives around the map. Here we go though. NXP will be on the defensive for the meantime. Chester naging watchtower, guard tower dito sa gilid with the feathered airstrike, forcing ONIC PH na magbigay ng distansya at respeto dito sa may turtle area. Mag-up na yung turtle. Ito na yung magiging next target for sure ng NXP.
Yung ONIC PH gusto nilang uminvade dun sa orange buff na yun.
Hindi talaga, malabo
Tapos ang ginawa nung Parsa, na siya, feathered airstrike.
Yep.
Si Jay dito, patakbo, hinabol siya ng dragon, Cyclone Eye, as if namang kailangan niya pa yon, lumilipad na talaga siya eh.
Yep.
Pinabilis pa.
Exactly. Naging tore na lang and hindi naman problema kay Chester. Yun! Ngayon ang makuha nila si Wise. That is a big catch para sa NXP.
Nag-reset dito etong turtle. Ngayon, si Delar, yung pinaka parang retribution substitute nila, malayo.
Malayo. Mahirap din pumasok.
Mahirap din pumasok dyan kasi binabantayan na din siya ni MB. Kumbaga, inaantay na ni MB na lumabas siya dun sa mga gilid-gilid ng jungle nila eh. Pero kasi, ito na yung pinaka factor na kailangan tignan for the side of NXP Solid. Kanina ganito din yung start nila. Yes, they actually help yung hero kanina dito ni H2O na makuha yung mga early turtles. But the thing is, H2O, siya yung nakakuha ng early powers, makakakuha ng early power spike ngayon with that turtle, with all the objectives, and with all the kills na nakuha dito na NXP Solid. ONIC PH on the other hand, hindi pa sila lumalaban dito as 5. Hinahayaan talaga nila si Iyakno mag-scale muna. Iyakno, nasa iyo lahat ng pressure, pero ang sinasabi lang nila, kunin mo muna yung orbs mo. Kapag ka nakakuha mo na yung proper stack, siguro mga 25, tsaka natin subukan talaga ipilit.
So what's going to be the answer? That's gonna be the question. Sino ang mas magandang scaling between these two, right? And we'll answer that later kasi right now talagang pinapuwersa ng NXP to keep going here on the bot lane.
I'd say yung scaling talaga dito is favoring the side of NXP Solid. Dahil for the sole reason lang na may Balmond dito yung ONIC PH.
Interesting.
Diba? So parang kasi nag-fall off talaga yung Balmond sa late game. And if you think about it, almost every time, parang yung ultimate lang talaga, pagdating ng mga bandang late game na, yung ultimate na lang ni Balmond talaga yung halos nagmamatter. Kasi
Exactly
mataas yung buhay, papalo niya yung lethal counter, pagka nagawa niya yun, it's going to deal a lot of damage.
Yep.
Pero aside from that, yung tipong iikot ka lang, parang hindi na siya
It's not
nagmamatter.
enough, no?
It's not
so,
enough.
kailangan bilisan konti ng ONIC PH yung kanilang pag-accumulate and kailangan they need to win team fights finally because right now, wala pa silang napapanalo. That is a 3-0 para sa NXP with a 1K gold lead at 5 minutes and 45 seconds.
Ang ganda ng pwesto dito ng ONIC PH, sila yung mauuna dun sa may turtle. Habang nandito sa likod naman, si MB, may heptasis na siya. Pwede niya mahuli dito si Ling dun sa pwesto kanina, si Wise. Pero si Wise, na-realize niya din na, asan si Johed? Bakit parang nawawala si Johed sa gilid? So bumalik din siya doon sa may pwesto ng kalaban. Tempest of Blades, ginamit nila just to clear the wave and get less damage. Minimal damage dun sa barrage na pinapakita dito ng NXP Solid. Nakita lahat ng pwesto dito ng side ng ONIC PH and J dito ang kukuyugin para hindi siya makapag-steal ng turtle.
Hirap na hirap mag-back up. Itong sila Dilar at Iyakno dito sa ONIC PH. NXP kinukuha lahat ng gusto nilang kunin sa mapa at konti lang ang bawi na nagagawa ng ONIC dito.
Hindi kinakaya ng ONIC PH yung ikot dito ni Yawi, Hurricane Dance. Parang kapag sila yung mag-initiate, there's always a threat na matulak sila pabalik. Pero kasi, naniniwala din ako na katulad lang, pwede rin kasi ang trend dito is sa early game talaga, malakas ang NXP Solid tapos makakahanap ng opening na naman yung ONIC PH. Like right now, pwede nila i-convert to into a turret and this is a step in the right direction. If you're an ONIC fan, you should be happy kasi makukuha na nila yung unang turret nila. At least, meron na silang parang safety point or nabawasan nila yung safety point ng NXP Solid dito sa may mapa.
And the goal lead is not that big, right? It's not like sobrang laki na ng lamang. They are, nice dodge there, they are still in the game. Especially, all you need to think about is yung itemization din ni Wise and H2O. Obviously, H2O busog na busog sa buffs. Diba? That's a big difference between these two carries. Pero this game is still a battle of the scaling.
Doon sa may taas naman si Balmond, wala, nag-scale lang siya. Tamang ikot lang talaga. And yun yung dito yun yung isang magandang factor dito for Balmond, na pwede siya mag-dive doon sa may mag-dive doon papunta sa tier 3 turret. Yung gitna ng tier 3 turret tsaka ng tier 2 turret dito sa top side. Tapos iikot-ikot lang siya doon to cut the waves.
Yep. And I think hindi wala namang ibang masasagot NXP doon unless magbato sila ng 3 miyembro para hulihin siya.
And Dilar dito, kinuyog na siya ng
Nakasabi lang?
4 na miyembro.
4 pala. Kulang pala 3. Kailangan 4.
4 na miyembro
Ayun.
ng side ng NXP Solid.
Nakakasabi ng...
Turtle ang next objective for the side of NXP Solid. And si MB, bababa siya doon. He will get that turret. Understandable. Habang protektahan naman nila H2O yung mid lane nila.
Yep, H2O, only turtle buff sa larong ito. Yun ang huling turtle at sa kanya pa rin napunta. That means sobrang busog na busog talaga ang Yi Sanshin na to. Level 13 versus level 12 ni Wise. That's not bad. 3-0 and 2. And more towers on the side of NXP means mas mayaman ngayon ang blue.
Yawi pumasok dito. Kaya ba nila i-burst down to? Yun ang tanong. J dito napalipad pero ito ang counter initiation for the side of ONIC PH. Nahuli sa gitna din sila Chester pero makakalipad sila. Renny J, kaya niya ba umalis? Yes, he can.
Yep.
At si Ling dito, wala dun sa laban na yun
Wala sa laban
Hindi
na yun.
din siya nag-participate doon totally. I mean, nandun siya sa area pero hindi din siya nakipag-participate talaga.
that means that they actually had more chances to get gold habang nangyayari yung laban na yun. At, syempre, yung members naman ng NXP is nagiging busy din makikipaglaban. Now, ang problem is, lamang na lamang pa rin ang gold ng NXP kahit na they are losing 1 members, 2 members, some farming time. NXP are still holding on to the lead.
Maganda yung pagiging agresibo kasi ng NXP Solid dito, papansinin mo. Pero kasi yung ONIC-PH, may maganda din silang ginagawa. Kapag ka kunyari, naging agresibo yung NXP Solid, makakuha sila ng isang kill. Ang gagawin agad ng ONIC-PH, tinatry nila makabawi ng isang kill o makikipag-trade sila.
That's right.
Ngayon kasi, sabihin na lang natin na hindi talaga pumapabor ang mga bagay-bagay sa mapa or sabihin natin yung net worth, yung turret, para sa side ng ONIC-PH. Pero kasi, dito, ganito bumawi sa mga ganitong setup na kailangan unti-untiin mo yung mga bagay. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na, taka, panalo tayo ng isang malaking teamfight agad.
Yun na yun.
Yun na yun.
Oh, hindi talaga. It's
Progressive siya hindi siya isang bagsak.
Leonardo facing a lot of damage and Cursing Touch will be the one to finish him off mula dun sa passive ni Yuzhong. And the tower is going to be talaga tinrabaho ng todo netong si Wise.
Napatakbo sabi ni White.
Napatakbo
Sige,
siya
sige, papaluin ko to.
Oh, palo-palo.
Palo-palo.
Sabi naman ni sabi ni Yawi, anong palo-palo? Tutulak ko nga yung minions pa atras. And it was able to save that first tower in the mid lane para sa NXP.
Good usage of the skill there para lang maprotektahan and it will delay yung pag-control ng mapa dito ng ONIC-PH. Kasi ganun sila nanalo nung game number 1. Nakuha nila pabalik yung map control. Nung nabuksan yung turret na yon, hindi na nila binitawan. What I have to point out for ONIC-PH is nakakamdaman mo na yung damage ng Iyakno.
Exactly. Meron ng may sakit na. May sakit. May
So, ibig sabihin, dito mag-activate yung idea na Dilar-Iyakno combo.
Yung iniintay kasi nila, di ba? Yung iniintay nila si Iyakno magkaroon ng bawas, magkaroon ng max stacks doon sa Alice bago lumaban.
Bakit nga ba inaantay yun ni Dilar? Kasi sa totoo lang, kung mapapansin mo, yung damage naman ni Alice, hindi naman yun yung burst damage na mabilisan kang matutumbay. Unti-unti kanyang i-whittle down, papababaan niya yung buhay mo. Tapos, ang mag-i-execute sa'yo, actually, hindi yung ulti. Hindi yung Blood O tsaka yung Blood O. Ang mangyayari doon, papaluin ka ng lethal counter. At kung ano man yung buhay na nawala mo, yun yung magiging puhunan netong dalawa eh.
Exactly. And not to mention, yung Alice din, with the help of that AoE skill, madali ding mag-activate nung Necklace of Durance. Anti-lifesteal para mapigilan yung regeneration ng mga heroes ng NXP tulad ni Renegade at of course, yung lifesteal ni H2O.
Okay, so ito NXP Solid, they are getting the Lord. Ito yung ito yung pinaka-importanting.
Here we go.
Pinaka-importanting objective dito sa may mapa. Jay dito going 1v1 with MB. At ang ginagawa lang ni MB dito, itulak ng itulak si Wise. And he's trying to get a kill on Wise. Flicker will be unloaded. And that is going to be Iyakno dito. Kaya niya ba tumakas? Nandun yung Cyclone Eye.
Yep, and I think that will be fine here for the meantime. Good advantage na nakuha ng NXP Solid with taking that Lord 1v1 lang laban kay H2O nakuha niya and there is no answer for ONIC for the meantime.
So, ito yung magiging sistema muna natin dito since nakuha ng NXP Solid yung Lord. Uy! Nawala si Chester. Malaki yun They can freely take down this Lord na hindi sila nag-iisip na merong Feather Tear Strike dito. That was a good play from Iyakno. Chester, alam naman natin na nandun siya sa pwesto na yun just because he's getting information. Pero kasi at this point in the game, lahat na ng mga brushes, chine-check na ng mga kalaban eh.
Oo, unti-unti na talaga. Nagiging lumiliit na ang mundo. Pero for the meantime, sumasakit naman din ang bawas. However, H2O is just so scary right now on the Isan Shin. Pasok na naman Yawi with the pick up on the Venus.
Stun on 3! Jay dito, kaya ba siyang backupan ng mga kampi niya? Tatumba dito si H2O, Wise. Yung damage output ni MB dito, napakataas.
Oy! Na-miss!
Hindi
the lethal counter!
Hindi tumama yung lethal counter doon. But, for ONIC-PH, kahit man hindi tumama yun,
Depensa is real.
nadepensahan nila yung base nila. So, ibig sabihin, yung minions hindi makakadikit dun sa torre, walang push na magagana for NXP Solid.
And it's all good. Yeah, masaya na sila doon. They were not able to secure all the kills, Pero nahuli nila sa H2. Let's have a look at the Gillette Instant Replay. Hashtag Shape the Day. Jay, beautiful Raging Sandstorm. I would say this the follow-up. AoE damage yung mga bilog-bilog na sinasabi mo po kanina. It did come into play.
Alam mo, ito si Jay, ganyan talaga yung ganyan talaga yung nature niya. Napapansin mo, parang talagang isang malaki
The big plays,
the big playmaker. And kung aalalahanin mo, way back season 3, yung tinawag
Ganun
natin
din.
siyang KJ, siya talaga yung nakakakuha ng mga malalaking Divine Judgment.
That's true, that's true. Now though,
Ganda ng
Chester,
shake and bake doon. No? Kala mo
Grabe
talaga
naman.
basketball player eh.
Dilardo, he's in trouble again.
Grabe si
Dito na
Renny
naman,
J.
tatapusin ni Renny J with Cursing Touch in the Dragon form. Dragonid form. Wise, hindi makapwesto, forcing on PH to back off.
Renny J. Yung damage output niya dito, napakataas. Yung sustain niya dito is good.
Si Wise,
ONIC PH, si Wise, nandun sa may baba. And he is trying to secure etong turret nila sa may bottom lane.
Yep.
NXP Solid, this is one way to get their attention. Automatic yan yung isang paraan para mapaback ang NXP Solid dito. Kasi kahit sabihin na nating lamang dito ang NXP Solid, ayaw pa rin nilang mawala ng torre kahit papaano eh.
Totoo yun. You need to be safe. There are lanes that you need to control pa rin para safe yung maging push nyo. Diba? Kailangan kontrolado nyo yung other waves. Pag problema, dumidikit yung waves ng kalaban sa torre mo. Kailangan mo titigan, kailangan mo bantayan eh. Hindi pwedeng clash lang ng clash, di ba?
Rockheart, 40 seconds on the Lord. And that is going to be an important Lord.
Yep.
Kasi that is the level 2 Lord. That
That's
is
right.
going to be enhanced kapag lumabas. Pero Yawi dito is the next target. Wise going in. Tempest of Blades catching out Chester. And here comes the knock-up. Yawi dito nahuli. Pero nandun si Maiyakno catching out H2O. And the collapse is there.
Oh my God!
PH. One fell swoop. One
Isang
fell
bagsak!
swoop, ladies and gentlemen.
And they're still going there. Renny J, 2v3, 2v4. Laban sa ONIC PH, hindi pa rin sila susuko. Lord is gonna be the next target here for sure. No more Dragon form. Lumilipad pa rin si Wise. Tempest of Blades. Under that Dragonid will be thrown back and the rest of the team is fighting.
Renny J dito will be executed. Lethal counter is there. Magmi-miss yung ultimate dito ni Venus. MB will go down. Immortality will be popped. Wala siyang flicker to get away. J onto the middle lane. Will the Lord be taken here? For the side of ONIC.
I think
Papunta na sila doon. Papunta na sila doon.
that's gonna be the next target here. ONIC PH are going for the Lord. NXP Solid, kulang ng 2 miyembro. Kakabuhay lang din nila H2O out of position to take the steal.
Uy, ang ganda ng Mountain Shocker na ginawa dito ni H2. Grabe yung damage output na nabigay pero they go in for Yawi. Yawi na parusahan dito. Hindi ka pwedeng humarap masyado at that point on because everyone is just expecting someone to contest that Lord. Ganon ka-importante yung Lord na kahit yung buhay mo, basta mapakuha mo lang yun.
Kailangan ibato mo.
Kailangan mo iba to. Basta
Hala,
ma-reset mo.
si Dilar.
Naku, si Dilar. Si Dilar.
Si Dilar! Ito na
Pumasok
naman
si Dilar.
tayo eh. Ito na naman tayo, Dilar eh. Here we go. Lord goes in.
Ang lang Lord, NXP Solid. Makakapag-defend kaya sila dito. Renny J pumasok doon sa loob. The stuns are real. Farsa dito with the feathered airstrike. Kaya ba nilang depensahan? Ito ang tanong. ONIC PH, are they gonna go straight for the base? Yawi dito with the Hurricane Dance. H2O going 1v1 with Wise. Yawi?
Dodge.
Kakayanin ba? H2O, Yawi, Chester, sila ang nagdedepensa dito. Tumba yung 2 membro nila.
And they will be able to stop the push on top and mid. Pero paano yung baba? Minions are now on the tower. Chester all
Yakno
alone.
going in with the flicker. Lethal counter will connect. H2O will go down. Yawi dito is the last man standing. Immortality popped and that is going to be a 2-0 favoring the side of ONIC PH.
Curse is over and they will get the win. ONIC PH looking like they're back on form.
Man, oh man. Adjustments on the fly. ONIC PH dito. Yun lang yung ginagawa nila eh. Kasi, sa totoo lang, nahahawakan na NXP Solid yung early game.
Hawak na talaga nila.
Hawak
Feeling
na
ko gusto
nila.
nilang tapusin ng dulo eh. They were near the towers, diba? They were near the inhibitor turrets.
Pero sa totoo lang, nakita mo yun, no? Natatakbo na din doon.
Si Willie
Oo,
nagtatatakbo.
natatakbo na sila. Pero alam mo, considering what happened there, ito lang yung masasabi ko doon. NXP Solid had the lead. Game 1, Game 2, early game. Pero meron lang isang mangyaring team fight for ONIC PH. May isang play na gagawin si Jay. And magbabago
Playmaker.
yun para sa side nila. Yun yung pinaka-haymaker nila.
Si Jay, the big playmaker here for ONIC PH is like the champion caliber. The championship form is still there for Jay, obviously, right? I mean, hindi talaga nawala yan. And it's impressive he was able to keep it up for that many seasons.
Man, oh man. Ang dami natin nakita dito. We thought that it was really gonna go to a game number 3, but may ibang lakad ang ONIC at nagmadali sila dito. Congratulations, ONIC PH, and good game, well played para sa NXP Solid. You guys had the control sa early game and you did your best, but ONIC PH was the better team today.
That's of course, that's going to be it. I'm gonna be looking forward to what ONIC is gonna say about this kasi for sure they were getting a lot of heat for the mistakes they keep making in the previous weeks. So ito na ba yung bawi nila? What will they say about this?
So kami ang naging shoutcasters nyo for week number 5. Ako yung naging anchor, Butters, kasama ko si Rockhart, ang aking analyst, and follow nyo kami sa mga social media pages namin. It's going to be at Opa Butters, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, lahat na. For Rockhart din, ganun din, di ba?
Search nyo lang. Platform.
And we are gonna throw it back to our analyst. Anong nangyari doon, Shinbu? Gusto ko malaman galing sa'yo.
Maraming salamat, of course, sa mga casters natin. Thank you so much for your shoutcast. And yeah, kita-kits next week. Welcome dito sa ating solo analyst segment, Shinbu with a 1 for an eye muli. And that is game number 2 between ONIC versus NXP. It's close at 2-0, mga kaibigan, and let's see what happened in that game. I was thinking that NXP actually had this one in the back. For example, this one, no? Again, guys, hindi meta heroes, no? Hindi actually kung ano-anong basta heroes or picks lang. When we evaluate these players, we think of their, tendency to pick and prefer picking and where they shine the most, no, whether it is within the meta or not. Well, there goes Yawi. Much parallel to Chaknu, actually. Yawi shines the most kapag ang mga napipili niyang hero are those that are a bit fast-moving heroes, in the form maybe of the Kufra. And I was thinking it is much better na meron siyang ganong klaseng hero kumpara doon sa highlos niya mula doon sa early game number 1 natin, no? And this is a further advice. I mean, yeah, 5.3 on the bronze, but I think there is a need to tweak.
This is not a computer game. This is a browser game. You just go to a link, just start playing the game immediately. You log in and that's it. I never played this kind of games before, like browser games that have this kind of graphics. When I used to play browser games, they didn't have this kind of graphics, so it's crazy good. It looks so cool.
Ayan, yung Rafaela, because by that time, that is the last pick, no? Ng ONIC PH dito, and that is on my Venus side. And I was thinking na pwede naman pwede naman ding mag-Cyclops
so
deal damage because at this rate, this kind of composition that is the last is designed for dueling. You have the Balmond, you have the Khalid, and you have someone that will sustain you. Although medyo may pagka-off-sync itong dalawa, no? May pagka-off-sync itong dalawa because Ling relies on mobility, whereas Rafaela naman, mas alam mo yan, para siyang loyal na girlfriend na dapat lagi mong inaalagaan, mga kaibigan. You always have to stick to her. And Ling doesn't do that. Medyo pakawala sa laula si Ling, diba? Special mobility yung playstyle ng girlfriend. So there are very detailed instances if you're following the playstyle of Ling na may hit siya ni Rafaela. No? So the one that you'll benefit the most would be of Pilar, would be of Jay, and even of someone that is on my Venus can easily catch up to. Then, duel with this, duel with Ren J, duel with Akai, and of course Johet, then okay na. Ang problema, the biggest threat ng NXP dito, they have crowd control. So let's look into the post-game na. Actually, by the way, that Blade gusto ko lang i-mention sa kamay ni Ren J. Let's look into the post-game na. So you can actually see the impact there of Yawi. This is 92,000, but this is mostly because of the early game prowess na pinakita niya kanina. Ang ganda ng mga pin-downs ni Yawi, makikita niyo yan mamaya sa highlights. Also want to emphasize the lead that was established onto Ren J. Ang aga ng pagkuha niya ng early deadly blade, for this Yuzong, which has, may nakuha ting lead, especially for the front line. And I kind of feel na crowd control, crowd control plus the strength of the Yuzong, plus the backup din mula dito ni H2O, na willing talaga sumali din sa laban, easily with the mountain shocker and manually by this Yuzong shield. Ma-overwhelm